Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Clinton Jeffrey here in the tower. Adam Ross joining me shortly as we get ready to go live coast to coast and around the world on Flow Racing and TSN Go. So glad you could be with us here today on this gorgeous afternoon as we get ready to go racing. Twin 125's presented by Leland Industries here today. And what an awesome facility we've got here in Saskatchewan today. The weather has been picture perfect, and we've got some of the young stars shining tonight. Start with Trayton Lapsevich, car number 20. He'll roll off from the pole here. This youngster showed a lot of brilliance last season as a rookie and continues to try and find some luck this year, but he got some good times here in qualifying, so we'll watch for him to roll off. His teammate back there in fourth place, Kyle Steckley, a standout in the Ontario racing scene, making his first ever Pinty's debut here tonight. His father, a multi-time champ, back when it was the Canadian Tire Series and one of the top running teams out there. So glad to have young Kyle make his debut here today, and he's got a legit chance to actually grab a win in his first race here today. Adam Ross making his way up to the booth and will join us shortly as we have a great field of cars here. A few locals, Adam, as we get ready to roll into what is going to be a twin night here in Saskatchewan. Hope everybody's doing good out there. You and I took off about 5 a.m. from Ontario this morning. And I'll let you catch your breath. I know it's a long way to the top.
No, man. We're good. I sound a lot hotter than you do.
I was just thinking that. I wanted to be as hot as Adam. I didn't want you to turn him down.
Yeah, no, I approve. I'm Adam Ross, and I approve of that adjustment. So we've got two second-generation talents making their debut. Matthew Shirley, son of Dan Shirley, he's in the right frame of mind. Loved what he did at his introduction. He's soaking it all in.
Awesome when you get these guys to get their first shot. Adam, it got to be a bit nerve-wracking for these youngsters to get up here on the big stage, especially for a guy like Shirley at home. He's got everybody watching, a lot of pressure, as you said. But you're right. He got the crowd pumped up. He was, looks like he's ready to give it.
In the big picture, the nerves are the good part.
What's the bad part?
The bad part is the pressure of you need to run a mistake-free race, and you're going to make a mistake in your first outing. So, I mean, that concern is a bit of the bad part, but those butterflies, that's what we do it for.
We saw a great race last Saturday in Edmonton, Adam. A lot of action, a lot of sparks flying. We'll see if any of that pours into today. Most of these guys know it's a short season. You don't really have time to mess around. You've got to go. If you're going to get a championship here, you cannot be playing games out on the speedway.
Well, Marc-Antoine Cameron left Edmonton with the points lead, 2 points ahead of Kevin Lacroix, but with penalties passed down by NASCAR since that race for infractions to do with the exhaust system, he is now 10 points behind Kevin Lacroix. We have a great look at Matthew Shirley, that Provincial Vodka number 28. That is a beautiful race car.
Yeah, I love the colors. Looking good out here for him as he gets ready to go. They're calling for the field to double up.
Once again, this event supported very well. A weeknight event out here in Saskatoon. It has always been run on a Wednesday night, and the fans continue to file in throughout the evening on what's just a perfect night for racing. And Clint, this is one there's so many speedways designed facing the sun.
Yeah.
And I mean, when the sun starts to go down, you're looking right into it. This place is perfect. The sun is behind us. Saskatoon is in front of us. We've got a beautiful setting, and we've got one to go. Next time out of turn number 4, NHL legend Tiger Williams going to throw the green flag.
Well, we know he knows how to throw something. Not usually the green flag, more like knuckles back in the day, but...
Get this, I said, how do you want to be introduced? He says, I don't care. I said, but if I don't like it, I'm knocking you out. And he taps me on the shoulder, and I think it broke my arm. Like, it was just a friendly tap, but there was so much force behind it. And I thought, this man, I can see where it comes from. But what a great fella. Gave a great little speech, and we're about to go green for the first Leland 125 in the twin 125s here tonight. Trayton Lapsevich in the number 20. Andrew Ranger in the 27. Slow and steady through 3 and 4. Tiger Williams eyeballing the field. Green flag in hand, waiting for the tap on the shoulder from Mike Charret.
Green is out, and he'll hold it up there. Tiger Williams drops the green flag, and Trayton Lapsevich will jump down in front of Andrew Ranger, and they take off. Steckley up on the outside as they battle for third.
Huge surprise to me that Andrew Ranger didn't fight for the lead. It was a plan. You could see that he wanted to get to the bottom as quickly as possible, and he did. And right now it's Lapsevich and Ranger pulling away just a little bit from Donald Teague, leaving Kevin Lacroix on the 74 to battle with Kyle Steckley in the 22.
Well, in the early going, everybody watching at home getting a good look at why this place is so popular. What a racy little speedway it's going to be here tonight. And Trayton Lapsevich and Andrew Ranger starting to drive away from Donald Teague a little bit as the battle's back there. Three cars.
9-car Brandon Watson tapped the wall on the back straightaway. You can see the rubber mark. Let's look at that right rear tire as he goes by. Doesn't look to be worse for wear, but you can see where the white of General Tire has been smeared around that tire. Everyone had to take some evasive action on the backstretch.
Yeah, and he's right on the back bumper of Tagliani. They had some sparks going on, and he's knocking on the door already. Out of turn number 4, the 9 on the 18. Some action there Saturday night.
Oh, and officials will be watching that pretty closely because of what went down Saturday night. A physical altercation. Alex Tagliani was docked points on the season for his actions, so we'll see what boils down. Tagliani wisely gets down in front of Marc-Antoine Cameron, puts a bit of a buffer between himself and Brandon Watson, but I believe these drivers are pros. They're going to go about their business, and if there is going to be payback, Clinton, I don't think it's going to be on lap 2.
Single file already for the entire field. The best battle is way in the back as they're 2 wide with Shirley up on the outside of the Bergeron number 1, but up front, all single file racing as Donald Teague starting to put pressure on the back door of the second place car, the Paille 27 of Andrew Ranger.
Donald Teague always runs well when we come out west of these 2 ovals, and he is all over the back of Andrew Ranger, keeping the pressure on.
Let's talk about Donald's attitude leaving Saturday. He knew he had 3 races in about 5 days. It was very important to make sure they left Edmonton with the car in one piece, and they did that.
He really had an uncharacteristic race. Donald Teague is all about charging hard. I'm not going to say he's checkers or wreckers, but he races hard and doesn't care about the consequences as long as he's running up front. Saturday night, we saw him run a conservative race. He took what the car would give him and didn't try to get any more. He just drove a really good race, had the car come home in the top 5, like you say, Clint, in one piece.
Getting a look here at Raphael Lessard in the 22 of Kyle Steckley. A couple of the youngsters coming through. Lessard with a lot of NASCAR experience in the States. Kyle Steckley, well, Ontario late model experience, and he's been making the most of it by picking up a bunch of wins already this summer.
Well, remember what Kyle Steckley did in his inaugural outing with the APC Series. He went out and won the race at Flamborough Speedway last year, so he's used to pressure situations. 2 things we got to remember, Clint. 1, this is only a 125-lap race. It is a sprint for these cars. 2, the second of the twin 125s is lined up based on each driver's fastest lap. So these are critical laps right now. These are when you can turn your fastest lap of a race. So drivers will want some clear racetrack to try to lay down a real burner of a lap.
And that's because the tire wear is still good, right, Adam? For new fans, the reason why you can lay down a good lap and you're going, you still got lots of meat on those sneakers out there.
Yeah, tires have to get up to pressure. Oh, contact between Gary Clute and Kyle Steckley down into turn number 3. Both of them able to gather it up.
Yeah, that's been going on for a couple laps now. Clute getting a little bit frustrated with the newcomer here as he's been knocking on the back door of the APC 22 a few times into 3. Clute a lot quicker there on the bottom.
Clute's really getting into turn 3 very, very well. Kyle's running very smooth, but his entry is not nearly as quick as that 59 of Gary Clute.
Up front, still Trayton Lapsevich leading Andrew Ranger, Donald Teague, Kevin Lacroix, and DJ Kennington. The top 5 up front. We get a look at the Paille 96, the most recent winner on the tour, Marc-Antoine Cameron in the 96 with Brandon Watson and his teammate Mark Dilley to the right side quarter.
Side by side, they battle down the back straightaway. Brandon Watson going to edge out in front. Further back, you can already see drivers jockeying for position. There is going to be lap traffic. It's just the nature of these races. So if you're towards the back of the field, you just want to make sure there's 1 or 2 cars behind you as a buffer, Clint.
And as quickly as we have gone, Trayton Lapsevich is about 10 car lengths off the back end. Well, a little bit more, maybe half a straightaway still off the back end of the Cathcart 71 with TJ Renamato just in front of Cathcart. It won't be long before they are in lap traffic, and Mike Charret, the starter, already throwing the move over flag.
I disagree. That move over flag should never be given to a car on the lead lap. You only get the move over flag after you've been lapped. Right now, they're all battling for position. They don't have to get out of anybody's way.
Well, he keeps showing it to the 71, at least not unfurled, but holding it up to let him know the leaders are coming.
That's just my little step up onto
the
the
spotters
soapbox.
are telling them the leaders are coming, probably making their ears bleed by get going. And now there's the flag for the Cathcart 71 as the leader pulls on. And just like that, less than 10 laps in, we are got lap traffic.
So now that the leader has gone by, Brian Cathcart in the 71, you can display that flag to the 71. He is a lap down, so he doesn't get the same right to real estate as lead lap cars.
Ranger cleared the 71, as will Donald Teege, the top three, into lap traffic already.
I'll tell you a driver who's been slowly making moves, and that's Jamie Krizik in the 46. He got to the inside of J.P. Bergeron. Matt Shirley pulling up behind him. He wants to follow him through if that hole works, but the problem Krizik has right now is he can't clear J.P. Bergeron. You get to the inside, he can't put the power down to finish the pass, so all they wind up doing is racing side by side and burning up rubber.
Watching the counter on our ticker, it is not accurate. We are closing on lap 25 with 100 to go here in the first part of this first of twin 125s. There's a good look at the leader, Trayton Lapsevich, in that Delta Bingo. RCG Quick number 20.
Chantel Kalika lap down as well. Lapsevich going around now. Andrew Rangers. Glenn Stiers with a big run on Wallace Stacy just ahead of the lead. Oh, trouble in turn number 3. Stiers goes around. Wallace Stacy nearly collected. Chantel Kalika does a great job to avoid. So, folks, the way NASCAR timing and scoring works with the NASCAR Pinty series, because there is only one scoring loop, it is at the start-finish line, they revert to the last completed lap. So Chantel Kalika might get her lap back without the use of the free pass, which would give TJ Rinamato the free pass. But if she had been a lap down for a lap, unofficially Chantel Kalika will get that free pass back onto the lead lap. So either way, a big break for the young lady in the AGI number 43.
Looking at the Steyr Zero car, he got turned around there, Adam, but all the white is gone off the right rear off that car, so I got to wonder if he hit the wall at some point or at least was scrubbing it off.
He drove up the inside of Wallace Stacy, and I just don't think the message got to Wallace quick enough that there was a car to his inside. Wallace made the turn down into the corner, and indeed, so Chantel Kalika being sent around the pace car immediately because they go back to the last completed lap. TJ Rinamato in that Valamo number 2, he is the free pass car, so he will also get his lap back, but he has to wait until the 1 to go signal.
On the stream, we see the Bullies Truck Stop team for Wallace Stacy's 66 car going to work on the left side. New left rear tire going on, and it looks like they're adjusting some of the body work over there on that left side. We can't see it from here, but you got to think there's some mashed in over there, and that cut down that tire.
Well, that's the weird thing. So the cut down would have to be from Glenn Steyer's front bumper or right front wheel, because body work on these cars is we've got a crew member go sailing down across pit road. The bodies on these cars are fiberglass, so it's really difficult for a body to cut down the rubber. Let's look at Glenn Steyer's right now. Yeah, the right front tire on Steyer's number 0. That's probably what cut the left rear of Wallace Stacy.
Trayton Lapsevich continues to lead over Andrew Ranger, Donald Teege, DJ Kennington, and Kevin Lacroix, the top 5. Then Lassard, Dilly, Steckley, Clute, and Tagliani will round out the top 10.
So 125 laps, as we say, that's normally even less than the distance to get to the midway break, but that is a full event here in Saskatoon. We'll have Victory Lane, we'll talk to the winner, and then they will line up based on their fastest lap of this race. So to give you an idea, Donald Teege with a 14.981 has the fastest lap recorded so far of this race.
And it's got to be tougher now to best that lap, right, Adam?
Yeah, his best lap was lap 4. Like you can see, everyone's best lap was lap 4, 5, 6. These tires come up to temperature where they want to run, but these heavy stock cars and the speed they're carrying, they go well beyond that optimal temperature. So then they start to slow down at that point.
Mark Dilley brings the IHL Leland Industries 64 car here to pit road. Looks like a right rear tire pressure adjustment. Somebody through the passenger side window. Normally that could be either creature comfort for the driver or ignition issue, Adam. It doesn't appear to be a problem other than a quick tire pressure adjustment and a look through the window.
Yeah, you cannot change a tire during the race unless your tire is cut down. JP Bergeron on pit road as well. He gets released down off the jack, and he'll rejoin the field, and we're ready to go. One to go. They're going to double this field up. Trayton Lapsevich in the 20, Andrew Ranger in the 27. Let's see if Ranger decides to use the same tactic. You can't tell me he didn't plan that, getting to the inside. At some point in this race, Ranger's going to decide, hey, the outside is worth a shot. I need to fight for the lead.
Well, we'll see a lot of these guys try and ride out. They know they're not going to get tires unless they have a problem, so they're going to try and make the most of them until they really have to pour it on.
At some point, the outside groove becomes preferred because you can roll the top, you can keep your speed. We watched Jamie Krizik in that 46 really struggling to pass the number 1 car, JP Bergeron, because he couldn't get the power down on the inside. Let's see what these drivers choose. Lapsevich in the 20 will set the pace to the restart. Andrew Ranger alongside in the 27.
Green flag is out. Here we go. Once again, Ranger will drop right in behind Lapsevich as they get down into turn 1. Kennington trying to roll the outside on Tej. He noses out down the back straightaway. Can the 17 get third spot?
Man, TJ Kennington charged turns 1 and 2, rolling the high side well. He edges out ahead of Donald Tej on the front straightaway. There's no hole for him to drop down, so he's just got to keep focusing on getting a big run off the corners, but he's doing that so far as they work down into 3.
Almost got the gap he needed, but it closed up as Tej poured it on the bottom of 3 a little bit better. Now he's trying to drag race him back to 1. Still Lapsevich, Ranger, Tej and Kennington is the battle. Look at Lassard also watching the 17. Now Kennington backs out and will drop back in line.
Kennington is such an amazing tactician.
I think he saw the freight train coming and knew if he didn't get down, he was going to be in trouble.
I think you're absolutely right. So looking back through the field, 2 of the local drivers who are trying to make their way forward, Matthew Shirley in the 28, Jamie Krizik in the 46. They're stuck side by side right now, losing a little bit of ground to the pack ahead of them, but having a great battle racing door to door.
Good look at the Lacroix-Lassard battle. That is 4-5 on the speedway with Kyle Steckley right in the tire tracks of Kevin Lacroix.
And I think you'll see Kyle Steckley commit to the bottom of the racetrack. It's the safe spot to be for him right now as laps tick away. A little further back, Gary Clute on the inside of Marc-Antoine Cameron in the 96. That's 2 of our points leaders. There are a couple of drivers in the top 5 duking it out. Oh, contact. Cameron tried to close the door, but Gary Clute was still there. Smoke off the tires as they charged down the back straightaway.
Yeah, Cameron still trying to come down on the 59. Clute having none of it. The smiling assassin grinning and bearing it here as they get back to 1. And now Cameron trying to ride around the outside of Clute. Gets into him. Gets him turned around. Cameron, can he stay off the wall?
Oh, what a save.
Just avoided taking out the nose of that 96 car.
Keep in mind, there's 2 races tonight. If he'd have driven that car down into the inside concrete, they'd have been hard-pressed to get that car together for the second running.
And we've seen that, Adam, at Sunset during the pandemic in the Twins there. Cars totally tore up, having to come back out and race without their front ends and whatever they had to do to just make it through the night. So the goal is to get through the first 125 clean with a good finish and then be ready to really do battle in the second here tonight.
And let's make something very clear. Marc-Antoine Cameron is frustrated. He was docked 12 points. They were found to have an exhaust system that did not conform to the NASCAR rulebook. So he was docked 12 points. They had some challenges in Edmonton to begin with, so they're very much on edge. So to come out here, they really have to focus on keeping the driver calm, getting him in a good headspace, because this is a big, big night. 2 races is nearly 10% of the season in one night.
For sure, and if you're planning on running for the points, this could be the night that really, I don't think you could win the championship tonight, but you could certainly lose it. Next race for these drivers will be
GP3R.
Yeah, about 10 days time from now.
And it sounds crazy. It's a 13-race schedule. This Western Swing accounts for 3 races. Like, that's almost a quarter of the season in 4 days.
Yeah.
5 days. Math was never my strength.
That's what happens when you take 4 flights in 3 days.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Mark Dilley onto pit road. Jamie Krizik as well. I'll be curious to see the right side tires on the 46 of Krizik. He was struggling on the bottom. He was fast, but he couldn't quite complete the passes, so he was pushing the limits. No, those tires look perfect. You can still read the general tire on the sides. Look at those shots of Mark Dilley as now he comes down to pit road. Clinton, you just went to school recently, didn't you?
Yeah, so those are left and rear adjustments. So, Adam, typically you would think they'd be making adjustment to tighten it up or loosen it up. That tells me they're trying to make adjustment and probably a track bar adjustment at the same time.
Yeah, it could be they're trying to affect both sides of the rear end equally to get them some drive off the corner or to take some drive away if the car is tight. But it used to be so simple because there were just wedge bolts on both sides, so you could see from which way they were turning the wrench, which way they were going. Now there's multiple adjustments, so it's not as easy for an idiot announcer like me to figure out what they're doing.
Me either. Mark Dilley obviously knows the car's not right, so they made some changes to that one. Krizik for the same type of situation, and now Dilley looks like he's coming back in, Adam. Would that be just to avoid laps?
I don't know what, because he could have stayed on pit road longer unless they deemed out. Keep in mind, Reno Montanari is the crew chief for Mark Dilley. They've been doing this a long, long time, so they know, depending on the work that needs to be done, they know how much time they have to do it. And that's not a small adjustment. That was 4 rounds.
Yeah, so they either needed more or miscommunicated how to take out what they just put in.
What, did you say turns in or turns out? Ruh-roh.
Better come back in, Shaggy. So, third time's the charm. Does Ranger pull down? Let Lapsevich go. It worked so far.
That's what he's done the first 2 times, but we're almost 75 laps to go here because it'll be lap 47 complete when they take this restart. Everybody on the track is on the lead lap all the way back to the 71. So the 71 of Cathcart, the 66 of Wallace Stacy are lapped down. The 0 of Glenn Stiers is back on the lead lap, so track position is king.
Field slow here off of turn number 4. Trayton Lapsevich brings him back, and the green one flies. We're on it again. This time Ranger tries to drag race him to the outside.
I think you have your answer. Andrew Ranger, it's go time. He drives it deep down into the outside of the turn. He's got position on Trayton Lapsevich. If he can carry it off the corner, who's going to lead to the stripe? New race leader, it's Andrew Ranger in the 27.
Wow, but Lapsevich did a great job to get the nose back on the bottom and not let him cut down in front. Lapsevich still keeping him honest up on the outside. Kennington trying to make the same move he did on the last restart on Teej and just might get it into 1.
Andrew Ranger used to win races on raw talent. He was just that good. Tonight he played some mind games. The first 2, the start and the first restart, he dropped back behind the leader, Trayton Lapsevich. Maybe gave Trayton Lapsevich a false sense of security out there because on restart number 3, he was up on the wheel and hard on the throttle.
Now for you new fans here, Trayton Lapsevich is a great runner. His brother, a former champion, is the crew chief for the driver on the outside. Andrew Ranger trying to take that spot away.
And here's the trouble. There's 74 laps to go. The temptation for Trayton Lapsevich is to fight for all he's worth. But every lap you run on the inside of the track, you're burning much more rubber. You're overheating those right side tires because you have to work harder to go the same speed around the track as the car on the outside.
Does not want to give up track position to Andrew Ranger, and as they battle, here comes Donald Teej into the mix, working on the inside lane here in the exhaust fumes of the 20.
Still Andrew Ranger at the stripe by the narrowest of margins, 14 one-thousandths of a second, as these 2 competitors continue to race door to door.
Right behind them, we get a good look at the pack that's being led by DJ Kennington.
Clinton Lapsevich slid up the racetrack under braking. Ranger to the lead, Donald Teej to the inside for second.
Teej going to try and make that move just ahead of the battle we're seeing right now on the screen. And the battle is for second between Donald Teej and the 20th, Trayton Lapsevich.
Now Trayton's on the winning side of this exchange. He's learning what the outside can do. He's learning where to put his race car. He was ahead last time at the stripe. He's ahead this time at the stripe. So he's in a good spot right now, battling with Donald Teach, making Donald use more of his race car than he would like.
Teach is a bit quicker, though, and ran him up to the outside wall there on the back straight. I'm not sure if the 20 made contact. Now he'll pull back in. A little bit of switcheroo, and Lapsevich back to the bottom.
I love the crossover. Now let's see if Trayton completes the favor and runs the 80 car up towards the outside wall.
Well, pitched him up there a little bit, not letting it right down. Lapsevich trying to run the inside lane. He'll grab that spot back, but no. Teach battles back on the outside and nearly clears the 20, but the 20 back in at the apex.
Amazing battle here now for the second spot. Teach able to inch ahead. If I'm Trayton Lapsevich, at what point to repay the favor? Do you just back off a touch Donald Teach in that left rear quarter panel? He'll sail up the racetrack, and he'll have that second spot free and clear.
Now we get a look at it on our monitors. This battle's been raging for about 5 laps and continues. They got the gloves tied up, and they're ready to step in the ring. They've been punching each other here for the last 4 laps, and let's see what happens. Lapsevich again to the bottom.
Lapsevich is really able to get that car rotated, but the outside groove can get on the throttle so much earlier. They just build more speed on the straightaway.
And DJ Kennington pulling into the picture now on the back tailgate here of the 20 car, who tries to sneak it back under the Teach 80. No, nearly gets him jacked up, and he's right there on the left quarter.
That's right where he wants to be. You're better off on the left rear corner than you are on the driver's number almost at some points, because Teach just sailed it down into the corner too far, but he'll keep that second spot. Andrew Ranger, meanwhile, driving away. He's got a 10-car length advantage as we are at the halfway point.
Still a fair bit to go in this first Twin 125 presented by Leland Industries here at Sutherland Automotive Speedway in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Gorgeous weather here today as we get race number 1 of the night underway.
And I mean, Andrew Ranger, there's a driver who needs a good run. Donald Teach, there's a driver who is not racing for points. This race could have a big impact on the point standings.
Lassard trying to make a move under Lacroix with Steckley right in the battle. Tagliani, Steckley's teammate, right on his rear bumper cover as well.
Lassard up to the left rear wheel of Kevin Lacroix as they drive down into turn number 3. He's not really able to roll that much further along, and Lacroix will clear the 8 machine off of turn 4, but doesn't shut the door.
Lassard able to stick the nose back in there of the Quartermash machine. And single file ahead of them as Ranger with a big lead over Donald Teach, Trayton Lapsevich, and DJ Kennington.
I'll tell you, Clint, there's one thing I know about double headers, twin features. One of them is usually very aggressive, a lot of carnage, and the other one is usually very calm.
Well, at least they've got the right one calm so far today.
I would tend to agree with that as Lapsevich taking another swing at Donald Teach. He pokes the nose underneath in turn number 2, falls back in line. He'll shadow him through 3 and 4, right up on the back bumper of that 80 machine.
And it seems like the cars keep going farther out on the back straightaway every single lap. They're getting right out to the wall as they come around here. And it is still Ranger ahead of this 80 car. We're seeing about half a straightaway up front is the Ranger 27.
And look at how fast the slower cars are. Like towards the back, we got a number of cars who got the free pass. They're still a full straightaway or more ahead of our race leader, Andrew Ranger. So there's a lot of parity in this race tonight.
Everybody's strung out around the speedway now. Not any really tough battles happening except for the Lacroix machine trying to hold off the Lassard number 8.
And Kevin Lacroix has to be frustrated. For one thing, he doesn't want to be back in the 5th position. Kevin Lacroix is a charger. He wants to be at the front. But even worse, he doesn't want to have to be battling someone behind him and defending that position.
No, you're so right, Adam. Looking out both ends, trying to figure out where to be aggressive and where to defend. And Lassard seems like he's pouring it into the bottom of one more every single lap.
Donald Teej was a little bit faster that lap than Andrew Ranger, but they're very close in times. Raphael Lessard taking another swing at Kevin Lacroix. He'll get the nose to the inside, but they're approaching the slower car of Brian Cathcart. That's not going to play into the hand of Raphael Lessard. He'll tuck in line.
That out there is the battle for 5th and 6th.
Whoa. Deep in the field, contact between Dexter Stacy and Gary Clute as they battle for position. They're a little deeper in the field. They're battling for 12th and 13th. JP Bergeron right there. Brett Taylor is right there, but they're not being shy about their battle right now.
Dexter Stacy up into the side of Clute, shoves him up to the fence, and Bergeron will get by. And Taylor going to try and join the freight train and send the 59 back 3 more spots.
Frustrating moment for Gary Clute in that 59. He'll try to regroup. He's going to stay up on the outside for now. Now he's going to get back in line and think about a plan to regain the 3 spots he just lost.
Clute doesn't look like he's got the power to challenge Brett Taylor, as Taylor in the 3 car able to squeeze out in front, closing in on lap 80.
It's an interesting racetrack out here in Saskatoon. It's one that people seem to get very comfortable on, so nobody is generally that much faster or that much slower. So you really have to pick your spots. You really got to battle hard for short periods of time and then get in line and develop a game plan.
Leader still Andrew Ranger, Donald Teej running in position number 2, Lapsevich third, Kennington and Lacroix inside the top 5. And the leader on the back door of the Steyr 0 trying to put some more cars between himself and the battle for second.
A little further back, Alex Tagliani on the inside of Kyle Steckley. That's a battle for position. It's a battle for the 7th spot. They approach the slower car of Wallace Stacy. Kyle Steckley able to fend off the challenge of Tagliani for now, as Chantel Kalika goes a lap down out there in the 43 once again. And so does Glenn Steyers in the 0.
Looking at the battle, Kyle Steckley trying to catch that 8 car of Raphael Lessard. Steckley in 7th, Lessard in 6th. Just ahead of them is the 5th place car of Kevin Lacroix.
Just ahead, well, about a straightaway ahead of race leader Andrew Ranger. We've got Matthew Shirley in the 28, once again battling the 46 of Jamie Krizik. This time they've swapped lanes. Shirley down low, Krizik up high. But Andrew Ranger is coming in a hurry. They want to get themselves single file to get away from the race leader.
Lacroix right on the back bumper of Chantel Kalika, goes to the outside. The 43 will give way to the 74, the 8, the 22.
Oh, hard into the wall.
Oh, the leader.
TJ Renamato hard into the wall, collects Trayton Lapsevich. Wallace Stacy spins out to avoid, and that, oh my goodness.
Lapsevich taken out of 3rd position here, and we just talked, Adam, how drivers in the point standings had to survive. This is going to be a big hit, and possibly 2 of them here, depending on how they get this car fixed for Trayton Lapsevich.
This could be the end of the night for TJ Renamato in that number 2. Donald Teej was putting him a lap down.
A lot of fire out of that car, too, when he came down.
Teej was putting him a lap down. Contact was made, and Renamato hard into the outside wall.
You can see the big black scuff down the back straightaway where he caught, well, the one closest to turn 2 would be Brandon Watson's from earlier, but all the rest was TJ Renamato in this one.
Yeah, that was a hard lick into the outside concrete for Renamato as he sits inside that number 2 machine. This race is done for the driver from Toronto. Hopefully, the crew can make repairs to get to the start of race number 2. As you see, Alex Tagliani,
oh boy,
has redecorated the right front corner of that 18 machine.
2nd race in a row, they've tore the nose off that car.
Trayton Lapsevich in the number 20. So what they will allow these drivers to do is pull up to pit. Because it's such a short track, they'll let the drivers pull up to the front of the line if they want to come to pit road, so they have a little bit more time to work. The red flag is displayed. I believe there is fluid across the racetrack. I'm not sure what TJ Renamato drug across the track there when he tried to get turned around, but we can see a trail. Let's talk about the racing, Clint. This is a place where you can get beside somebody, but it is very difficult to complete a pass. So we've seen it all night long. Raphael Lessard's a great example, trying to pass Kevin Lacroix. Gets to the inside. They must have spent 20 laps side by side. Raphael Lessard used his stuff up for those 20 laps. So it'll be tough for him to come back from that.
Well, we have seen a lot of drivers be able to get to that inside corner at him, or even draw even, but not able. The outside lane here is able to draw the speed and the momentum and make that car pull around the outside and hold on to these positions. A lot of these battles we've seen so far today have ended the same way they started, with the driver who had the spot nearly giving it up, but just being able to hold on a bit further. Well, we got a quick break here. We'll take a quick break on the live stream. We'll be right back here live from Saskatoon. Welcome back to Sutherland Automotive Speedway here in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Clinton Jeffrey and Adam Ross up here in the booth. We got a special guest with us, Adam.
I'm Todd Gilbert. I'm normally the infield announcer here. So, just a reminder, on behalf of the Saskatoon Stock Car Racing Association, I would like to take this opportunity to thank all the fans that I see here. We got a great race tonight. Now, these guys are talking about the style of racing we have here. I can attest to that. We had the RS1 series in here recently. We saw a lot of three-wide racing with those guys. You guys are talking about the fact that we've got a lot of side-by-side racing. That's the thing we really like to see here at Sutherland Automotive Speedway. It's, like I said, we can definitely not call this a single-groove track. We call this a multi-groove track, and you've seen it tonight, and I expect we're going to see a lot more two-wide racing. Maybe even these guys are going to get bold, and we might see a bit of three-wide racing as this racing progresses tonight. So
that's usually what happens as desperation sets in, right? As you get late in the race, and the bumper can help you clear a path, and that's quite often what'll lead us to those three-wide moments. Talk about your event last night. How was that one? I heard you had a good crowd for that.
Yeah, we did. Of course, we had our local street stocks running out here. We had the pro trucks. Now you see the pro trucks lined up in the pits there. We are going to be running them as soon as this race is done here tonight. And of course, we also had, I can't even remember who was running tonight, our late models. So you see the Matt Shirley in the number 28. He won 2 of the 3 race nights last night. He won in the late model. So again, there's no stranger to checkered flags. Watching him out here on the track tonight, he certainly seems to be learning that number 28 car. He said it's a big difference from a pro late model. He says this car is a lot heavier to drive. He said it's a whole lot more work in here. So, I'm still looking forward to seeing how Matt can do as this race progresses here at Sutherland Automotive Speedway.
He's got some speed for sure. He stopped. I was sitting on the stage after the autograph session. He stopped, says, "You won't believe what I just did." He said, "Everybody you got an autograph from me tonight, I put the number 12 on every autograph," even though he's driving the 28 here tonight. I said, Matthew, I think they're going to forgive you for that one. But he is so excited to be here. I love the enthusiasm that he brings to the sports and to his marketing partners. He should be proud of the way he conducts himself.
Well, and he's not, the first generation to do this. Of course, a few years ago, his dad, Dan Shirley, also ran the old color, the number 46. He ran a Canadian Tire Series. I'm going to call it our Pinty Series, the NASCAR here, a few years ago. And so, the second generation racing, he learned from his dad, and it's showing at this point now. One thing I noticed about the qualifying, I was watching this qualifying out here today. I saw the fastest qualifier qualify at 14.750. I saw the 15th place car qualify just over 15 seconds. That gives us 0.3 of a second separating the top 15 cars. Now, watching the racing out here, you guys had mentioned when you were talking about the fact that everybody here looks like they're basically playing on the same level field. The race so far, 87 laps in, we haven't seen a lot of people running away with this race. It is tight out there.
We saw the same thing at Edmonton Saturday night. I'll tell you what I love about this series. 14.750 is not an extremely fast lap here in Saskatoon. But racing isn't about speed. It's about going as fast as you can within the confines of the rule book and with what the track will allow. So these race cars, these do not turn better than the late models you'll see here on a regular basis. They don't slow down better than the cars you'll see here on a regular basis. It's a bit of an older style of race car, but because they enforce the rule book so evenly, it's a very level playing field, and they battle side by side fantastically, and it's a lot of fun to watch.
Oh yeah, like you says, we've seen it. I expect it for the next 125 session. Now, another thing I heard you mention, and I do appreciate you mentioning it, there's generally two types of racing when we have a split race like this. We have a relatively clean race, which I think up until this incident we've seen. I have no idea what to expect from the second half of this race.
Well, I'll tell you what I think. The next race on the schedule is the Grand Prix of Trois-Rivières, Quebec. So that's a road race. They don't have to worry about these cars. The next race after that is a dirt race at Sutherland Speedway. They've got a lot of time to fix these race cars. So the drivers come out here. You run 3 short track races in a matter of 5 nights. Your tempers are going to flare. These drivers still have payback on their mind from Edmonton, let alone what they're building up here tonight. So that all of the ingredients are there for a wild second half of this Leland Twin 125, and I think we're in for a wild finish of this one.
Well, I think we are, and I love the way you put that. What you're kind of saying is these guys really don't care how these cars leave here tonight. Once this race is done, they got time to fix them. They've got trailers for all of them, and they really have a goal, and of course it's getting those points for the season and getting that ever coveted checkered flag. That's the only way you can see it waving in the pits there. The Sutherland Automotive commemorative flag. I don't know if they know they're getting them, but that's what everybody here races for. And I think we're going to see some really intense racing in that second half.
I think we are as well, as we look at the TJ Renomato number 2.
Literally being drugged back to the pits.
There's a flatbed sitting on the infield. might have been called into use.
Well, you called earlier out, and that's likely the end of TJ's day. You can see it there. Both front and rights are gone, rear and front. Todd, talk about the regular classes. We have a lot of folks watching, not necessarily here, but watching around the world on TSN Go and Flow Racing. Maybe tell a little bit about the classes you have here weekly and when you have your weekly races.
Well, we have our weekly races pretty much every weekend in the summer, most Saturdays except for the long weekends. Of course, we start with our Bandolero class. Now, the Bandolero class is one of the most exciting classes to me because we have 8 to 14 years ranging in age on that class, and that's what we call our young guns out here. And we have recognized that those racers are the future of our track here, of course, at Sutherland Automotive Speedway. And some of the fans watch these races and they say, well, it's kind of a boring race to watch. And I says, don't watch the race, watch the racers. You can watch these racers at 8, 9 years old. They're slow at first. Every night they make big headway. So, of course, we got the Bandolero class. We got the mini stock class racing out here, the next step up from there. We've got the Legends class. We've got our street stock class. Now, I would call the street stock class here one of the premium classes out here. We watched them race last night. We got a class of racing in the street stocks that run super tight all the time. We've got the Pro Trucks, which you're going to be seeing running out here tonight. Basically what that is a Chevy Monte Carlo metric chassis, we could call it, with a fiberglass truck body on it. Now we then step up to what's called the Sportsman class, which was the old CASCAR series, which this series has taken over from, that you're seeing race tonight. And then, of course, we prime everything off with something called our Pro Late models. You heard me talk about it with Matt Shirley. These cars are fast. They run low 14s out here. They're running 12-inch slicks or 10-inch slicks on those cars. They're exciting. Now, next weekend, or I should say August the 6th, we have the Bridge City 200 coming up. So far, we've got 23 to 24 Pro Late models registered, $10,000 first place on this. This race is going to be the race to come to in August. This one is the race we're all waiting for, and you can bet money on the fact that we're going to have all these Pro Late model racers racing for that $10,000 purse. It's going to be exciting. I expect to see the stands full for that one. Also, of course, make sure you check out the 50-50 tickets here. Not sure exactly what the total's at right now, but make sure you get your 50-50 tickets. Of course, that supports our junior race program out here. 7 to 17 years of age, or 8 to 17 years of age, no fee on that one. Make sure you check out the junior race program if you've got youth that want to get involved with our racing and you've got our Dakota Dunes race experience. You basically book this, you get to ride with an experienced racer for 10 laps. After that, you get to drive in either a mini stock, a street stock, or a pro truck. Awesome experience for our fans to see what it's like to be in a race car on this track.
It's such a different experience, and if you ever get the chance, so being down on, even in a passenger car, what you see from there, the view as we look at Alex Tagliani's race car, some pieces missing from that machine, but the view from inside the car is so much different. And then if you were able to jump into one of these cars, it'd be different even still. Your line of sight gets smaller and smaller the higher division you go, because these drivers are focused on nothing but what's in front of them. You get into a mini stock, they're sort of more designed. You can look all around you, you can see things around, but as you get into a Pro Late model or a NASCAR Pinty Series car, it's a much smaller window there that you look through because you're only focused on what's out ahead.
Well, and things happen super fast in those cars. You know, talking about the whole race experience program, I know I started this years ago. We had fans come out and they all had the same comment to me. Number one, they says, we can never quite watch racing the same. And number two, they says, this track looks big from where you guys are all standing out here in the stands or sitting in the stands. You get inside a race car, that track is really, really small when you're in a race car. You don't realize it, but on this track, you never stop turning. This is an oval, but the straights really aren't straight. So
no.
It's a constant turn.
A lot of G-forces. And I drove race cars for a little while, and it was funny. I drove on tracks as big as 5/8 of a mile, as little as a quarter mile, and speed was never an issue for me. The way you judge speed is by how fast the wall comes at you coming off a corner, Clint.
Yeah.
And there's a place in Ontario, it used to be called Varney, now it's called Full Throttle Motor Speedway. That turn 4 wall comes at you faster than anything I've ever experienced in a race car, and it's the shortest track I ever drove on. So, as you say, this one, you've got a beautiful racetrack out here in Saskatoon. It has all the ingredients. You've got 2 or 3 usable grooves. You've got beautiful wall. Well, the wall's not so beautiful if you're out there racing. It tends to hurt, but it does look good. Like it's a beautiful facility you guys have.
You know, we've had streetcar test drive events too, where we have guys that come out with their street cars, and it's more bragging rights. You come out with whatever you got, and you kind of brag to your friends. I know I've spoken to a number of these drivers, and I always give them the same warning. I says, you see those concrete walls that surround this track? Trust me, people have tried to move them. They do not move, not even a millimeter, so avoid them like the plague. I'd like to thank Virtue Construction. You see that great street sweeper that we've got running out here? Virtue Construction, big thanks to them coming out here and making sure we can get this track cleaned up. Of course, Earthworks, one of our big sponsors. You see that Bobcat running out here every weekend. Big thanks to Earthworks, longtime supporters out here at Sutherland Automotive Speedway. They provide us every year with that Bobcat, so big thanks to them. And of course, Sutherland Automotive, new naming rights this year. I know they're over in the tower next door, and we're having a exciting year with those guys. They are hyped. They're so excited. So you guys, you need any kind of auto parts, you see the Sutherland Automotive car leading this pack out. Make sure you check out Sutherland Automotive just off 51st Street. Great supporters of ours. Let's do the same back to them, right?
Well said.
Thanks, Todd, for stopping by. The cars are getting ready to move again, Adam, and we get ready to go. They just finished cleaning up a bunch of the front straightaway up in turn number 2. You know, what's that doing for you if you're Tagliani sitting there through that long delay, knowing you're going to have to go in for repairs? Got to be ultra frustrating once again.
Thank you.
Yeah, it really is. And I mean, racing is an emotional game, sport, activity. Call it what you want. Is Trayton Lapsevich unable to get up to speed? This is a shocker. Normally when they go from red to yellow, they make sure there's a push vehicle behind the field. And the reason they do it is because every lap counts. So the field is under yellow.
Great look at the damage on the lap switch car. That may be repairable, Adam, for the next race.
Oh, I would think it will be. I can't believe they're leaving this under yellow and a truck going the wrong way on the racetrack.
So many bad things. So
oh my goodness. Where's the Lapsevich pit? There's got to be people going nuts down there in the quick pit.
Yeah, as you can imagine, Adam, not too pleased trying to get this car going around, and now the push truck just stopped there and like, we're going to go down more laps if you guys don't move this car. Like, let's go.
Interesting turn of events here under this yellow. They can't open pit road because it's blocked from one side to the other. We actually saw earlier this season, NASCAR did a great thing. When cars were on pit road, they opened pit road when it was blocked, and at least one car got trapped a lap down, and NASCAR let that car go around the pace car and get its lap back, which I think was a great move.
Yeah, we're blocked because the TJ Renamoto car is still stuck on a flatbed trying to get up here in the middle of the pit road, right about where the cars are passing now. So that 2 cars got to get up on the rollback before we can move cars to pit road.
So let's see if they're going to give Lapsevich's lap back. This would be a gray area. I don't see how they could. They rolled the field. He's probably pulling up so he can pit when the time comes, but
So he would have to get permission to do that, correct?
Oh, I would hope. Oh, yeah.
You could not just pass the pace car.
You
like
can't
that.
pass the pace car. In fact, Andrew Ranger got penalized in Quebec for that. And again, it was the right thing. We can see from our vantage point just past the NASCAR trailer, there's a red flag with a yellow cross right where TJ Renamoto hit the inside wall. Once that flag goes green, pit road is open. So pit road is still closed. They're going to be at least 2 more laps before they get the Renamoto number 2 up on the back of this flat deck.
Well, the other problem with that is it's all mangled, right? So it's not steering properly up the ramp. It's trying to fall off the side when they pull it up. They have to make a whole bunch of adjustments here to get this one in the right spot, and even just to get it up on the ramp at all.
Yeah, they're struggling to get it even onto the deck. They've got the back end up now. Red flag still out for the pit road entrance, so it'll be 91 laps complete this time. And there's not a big turnaround between the first 125 lapper and the second 125 lapper. So these teams are going to have some work to do. That whole inside row is lined up with cars wanting to get to the pits.
And we're knocking laps down right now as well, right?
Every lap counts. And I don't know why Alex Tagliani has not pulled up all the way to the pace car to give his team the time to do the work.
He did when they rolled off, and someone must have told him to get back in your spot because he was right up the inside of the 27.
You're allowed to pull up to pit. Mark Dilley did it.
Well, they said it in the driver's meeting you could pull up to pit. You just couldn't pass the pace car.
And it may not look like much, but from the pace car back to Alex Tagliani is about 10 seconds of time for that pit crew to do what they have to do, and 10 seconds can be an eternity.
And I get the feeling Clute is going to pull in too because he was right up there.
They all are. Tagliani, Clute.
So everybody on the bottom lane.
Chantel Kalika, the whole bottom lane pit road is still closed.
So I have to pace around another one. And for Lapsevich with that dragon front end, and there we see the Renamoto car finally cleared up.
I'm surprised Clute isn't pushing Tagliani.
Yeah.
Okay, now he's going.
Andrew Ranger quite all right to just let these pace laps tick away. A few more circuits that he won't have to hold on to the lead for. We're at 92, coming for 93, and there you see the inside lane pull up and get ready to pit.
So the officials may have made an announcement that you pull down out of line if you're going to pit. until until pit road opens, they won't allow you to pull up. That would make sense because now everyone is pulled up. Tagliani is pitted way back there between turns 3 and 4.
They're not passing the pace car, Adam, right? They were told you cannot pass the pace car, so you saw Tagliani just rolling right beside it there instead of roaring into the pits.
Gray area. Because the pit road is so much shorter than the racetrack, how do you not pass the pace car if you're both going 20 miles an hour? So it's an interesting, and they generally use some common sense when they enforce these rules.
Mark Dilley pitting out of his box right here. That's going to be a problem, Adam. He's got the nose clearly over and the hood up on that car. Krizik drives away. Kalika will drive away. Gary Klute's crew going to work on the front end of that car. No, they actually got the hood up on the 59. Work going on the Lapsovich 20 and the 18 of Tagliani.
They could be looking at a front end alignment issue on the 59 of Klute.
And what was that? Just flew out the back. Was that toe plates? He just stepped on the gas and a bunch of stuff flew out the back.
That's possible. Don't stand behind a race car taking off. Lug nuts that have come off, they're like bullets when they get spit out. So we'll give you a field rundown as they run right now. Andrew Ranger is your race leader in the 27. Then it's Donald Teague in the 80. The 17, DJ Kennington. 74 of Kevin Lacroix is 4th. Raphael Lessard in 8th is 5th. Kyle Steckley is 6th in the 22. 7th is Brandon Watson in the 9. The 47 of LP Dumoulin is 8th. Marc-Antoine Camerand is 9th in the 96. And 10th is Dexter Stacey in the 92. 11th is the 1 of JP Bergeron. Matthew Shirley is 12th in the 28. Brett Taylor is 13th in the 3. Jamie Krizik is 14th in the 46. Although timing and scoring isn't quite agreeing with me there, but I think it will catch up. 1 to go.
Gary Klute back off of pit road. They'll take the 59 back to the tail end of the field. Andrew Ranger and Donald Teach have been at the front of this, at least in the top handful of positions since the get-go here. We've got 30 laps to go, Saskatoon. Let's hear you make some noise as we get ready to go back green flag racing in a very critical point of the race. Adam Ross, take us back to it.
Andrew Ranger down low in the 27. Donald Teach has not tested the waters on the outside. Let's see how that 80 performs up in the high groove.
Kennington right there waiting to pounce, as is the ever-fast Kevin Lacroix hanging in here as well. But right now, Andrew Ranger going to lead the first one off of 4. And Kennington, former teammate, trying to put the moves.
Oh,
he
three
wrapped it up
wide.
the bottom, and Lessard fills the gap. Watson in there, Teague gets in there. They all have to back out. And here comes Lessard to the bottom, Adam.
Lessard down low, DJ Kennington up high as they battle for second. Donald Teach is the odd man out up on the outside. He runs in the 4th spot right now, but Brandon Watson with a good line down low.
Watson showed he's a master of these type of tracks in Ontario, running with the APC Series, a rookie here tonight. We know he's going to get one eventually. Been the rookie of the race in many of them so far, and he's pouncing again. But Andrew Ranger says, ha, you guys battle. I'm driving off into the sun.
25 laps to go this time at the stripe, a Saturday night special here on Wednesday in Saskatoon. The battle remains for second spot. DJ Kennington has it by about 2 feet at the stripe over Raphael Lessard. Right behind them, it's Brandon Watson and Donald Teague driving in formation.
We got a Western 4-pack here as they come on the front straightaway. Look at those cars. Look like a box set on a turn number 2. Picture perfect as for the best battle here in the NASCAR Pinty Series.
You can almost see Andrew Ranger smile from here.
Yeah, his car looks happy as he looks out the back. Lessard not going away on Kennington, hanging down on the inside. Watson with those left side wheels almost in the grass in 2.
DJ Kennington led that spot. He had the second spot at the stripe. Raphael Lessard inching ever closer. This time at the stripe, it is still the 17. Wow.
Watson putting pressure on the 8. Goes, thought about it, almost 3 wide, backed out of it. Watson is ready to pounce there. If they lift up the inside, look at him hug that bottom out of him.
Yeah, the Watson number 9 is just hooking the inside of this racetrack as the battle for second continues on. All they're really doing behind him is riding right now, Clint.
Yeah, Marc-Antoine Cameron and Kevin Lacroix in that mix, just out of the picture. Starting to come into it, so is young Kyle Steckley. and we know he's got the gumption to grab a win if it suits him. Kennington trying to clear Lessard on the back straightaway, and he'll cut down in front. No, he doesn't. Lessard gets the nose back inside.
Kennington is smart enough not to close the door and allow Lessard to bump and run him. Stay up on the high side until you're totally clear. He's got a good run down the backstretch. Kennington really stretched out the backstretch. If he can do the same thing in 3 and 4, he can really get the advantage on that number 8, but Lessard cut a nice corner.
Yeah, he's running that bottom really good now in that 8 car. Doing his best to hold off the Castrol Edge dodge of Kennington, but Kennington stretches his legs a little bit down the back straightaway. Teej, Watson, Lacroix, they're all still right there.
I'll tell you, Donald Teej is not well known as being someone who'll get up on the outside of a racetrack. He's kind of a groundhog in that 80. He'll run down low. He'll get physical on the bottom. He's doing a great job out there in that 80 machine.
Well, he's about to start knocking on the Kennington 17. Not sure which lane to push forward. Now he pulls in behind Lessard.
Yeah, Teach right up on the back bumper of that number 8. What a phenomenal battle down the back straightaway. Kennington, there is not a mark on that 17 car of DJ Kennington or on the 8 of Raphael Lessard. Just 2 drivers putting on a clinic of short track racing.
Donald Teej up the back door of the 8 cars. They come onto the back straightaway. Good view on our monitor as they roll it down to the bottom of 3. Still Andrew Ranger leading with 15 or less to go.
Kennington finally able to close the door on Lessard, but it's almost like his car prefers the outside. It slides up half a groove, opening the door to the 8 of Lessard. A little bit of contact there in 3 and 4.
Yeah, Lessard got into him a little bit, but let him gather it back up. Kennington back down in front, but you're right, Adam, not getting in the way of the bump and run, just kind of staying out of that way of the front bumper of the 8 car. Teej is there, and now they all accordion back single file.
I think you're going to see DJ Kennington stay up there about a groove off the bottom of the racetrack where he is safe in that 17 machine for the time being. Raphael Lessard got loose going into the turn. Donald Teej going to drive to the inside of the number 8.
Also not burning up your tires in that outside lane as much as you would be working the bottom. Teej, a little knock on the side of the Lessard 8.
That's the type of racing we're used to from Teej. Just get to the bottom, get physical, and do what you've got to do. But Raphael Lessard, he's a young man, but he's a veteran, and he has learned from the best racing for Kyle Busch for as long as he did.
10 laps to go for leader in the Paye Chevrolet. 27, Andrew Range out of Roxton Pond, Quebec, leads him back to turn number 3. Less than 2 minutes to go. Can Kennington catch his former teammate, Adam? With lap traffic help, it might be possible.
It's going to be tough for Kennington to catch Andrew Ranger, but I got to think second place is a pretty good run, sets him up for good speed. If he gets a good starting spot in the second one, DJ Kennington always a big picture racer.
And Teej all back sideways off of turn 4 that time. And he's really stepping out. Look at him sliding. Oh, he gets into Lessard. Who gets into? Oh, my goodness. Watson caught up in it. Lacroix caught up in it. And right there, 2nd through 5th, they're out of it.
Wow.
Wow. You got to be frustrated. They were running so good, so clean, so long. And it's all so gone. Just like that.
It's just how it goes. Racing so close, we've watched other drivers do it. You try to sail it down on the inside of the corner and you lose the back end of the race car, and that's what happened. Hopefully we'll get a replay, but what I saw was Donald Teej lose the back end of that race car, and he caught it using the car on the outside, and once they got sideways, everybody was involved.
Look at that shot. Lacroix, Watson, all tore up.
The good news is, if there is good news, and Kevin Lacroix, don't come down pit road. Let's have a look at this replay. Yeah, Teej gets loose up into Lessard, and then there's just nowhere to go.
Yeah, Teej nose caught the back end of the Watson 9, ripped his rear cover off. Here's a look at it from turn number 2.
Wow. I'm going to tell you something. Marc-Antoine Cameron has no business being in the top 3 right now. That car has barely been a top 10 car tonight. But he was the first to be able to look ahead and just go straight up the racetrack to avoid that mishap. Marc-Antoine Cameron, Kyle Stackley, Dexter Stacy. What a break for Trayton Lapsevich in the number 20 who just had those big problems. That's a handful of spots he just made up.
Tough break for Kevin Lacroix. He was in the top few spots in the points as well. Going to face some trouble here tonight Another look at it here on the stream. Yeah, T just got loose, got into the left side door.
And I think
of Lassard.
Brandon Watson, I think, was going to be able to navigate through that, but Kevin Lacroix had no way to see what was going on. And Marc-Antoine Cameron gave a pretty good shove to Kevin Lacroix through the turn, and Lacroix did a nice job avoiding the inside wall as well as crews go to work picking up fiberglass.
The Lacroix car doesn't look too bad. They should be able to get that one fixed for the next race. The Watson car, both front and rear ends are tore up on it.
I think it's a lot of cosmetics, by and large. I think it's a little bit of duct tape and bungee cords, and he'll be good to go.
A lot of duct tape and bungee cords.
So the laps continue to click away. This is probably going to send us to NASCAR overtime at the very least. It's going to use up the 125 laps of this Leland 125. So my favorite part about these race cars, Clint, is that Brandon Watson can go to the pits, they can rip away that fiberglass, and he will be just as fast as he was before the wreck as long as all four wheels are still pointed in the same direction. Looks like Glenn Steyer is going to get the free pass in the Zero machine. He's quietly having a good drive.
Yeah, I got turned around early, just trying to put laps in here on his Western swing. You know, finished all the laps in Edmonton. They had some car trouble earlier in the year. And a dirt racer, just trying to figure it out here on the blacktop.
You can see the lettering rubbed off the General tires on the right side of the car as Brandon Watson brings that APC Sheer GMS sponsored number 9 down pit road, and the crew decides. So they've got the Sawzall in one hand and they'll have tape in the other. You're either going to take that car back together or you're going to cut that car apart. And right now they're in there with the Sawzall trying to clear away the fiberglass that's loose. At the front of the race car, it looks like they're going the tape route.
Yeah, and that rear bumper cover will just come off. They'll make sure everything is good. They're going to have to take the hood off as well, try and tape up the bumper. I mean, he's going to have just a few laps to try and get through this one. Lacroix, we also see him limping down.
Yeah, he's coming down pit lane in that 74. And keep in mind, the bumpers on these race cars are actually the steel tubing behind the fiberglass.
We're getting a good look at Donald Teja's crew as they're having to deal with all the duct work and everything that attaches between the chassis and the, there's a good look at all the orange duct work that direct air into the brake ducts. And see, they've got breakaway ducts out of them. That's kind of smart.
That was the right thing to do right there. They just pulled the radiator shroud right away, get rid of it, get rid of the front bumper, cut away those ducts. Donald T just ready to go. All you would need to do is take a bungee cord, tie up that ductwork so it's not dragging, and he can go back onto the racetrack.
It almost looked like there were two pieces. When they pulled it off,
yeah,
it almost came apart, which was brilliant because we don't see that often on these cars. So
they're having some more looks under the front bumper of that 80 machine.
Brandon Watson back out. He'll make his way back into the pits for a second look and just try to stay on the lead lap if possible.
So what they do, Clinton, and most of our fans know this already, I'm sure, they come down into the pits. They've got about 40 seconds to work on the car before the pace car is going to be back in, or back around. So they will plan out what they're going to do for those 40 seconds. Either the crew chief or the spotter will say pace car in turn 4, pace car at the start-finish line. By the time that pace car gets to the start-finish line, there better be nobody standing in front of the 9 car because he's going to take off.
Crew barking directions.
The crew beside the 9 crew saying, look, he's over the line, over the line. Now they're backing up the 9. I don't think that was cooperative teamwork. I think that was more, hey, we got to follow the rules, you got to follow the rules. Pace car at the start-finish line, away goes the 9.
Good call. Once again, welcome everybody watching from around the world here. Wish you could be with us in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, here at Sutherland Automotive Speedway for the NASCAR Pinty Series Leland 125. First of the twins, the second one coming.
Got to send much love to Larry Jackson. We wish he was out here racing. It's more fun when he's out here racing. But he didn't make the trip this year. He's looking forward to doing it next year. He's building quite a little enterprise for himself down there in Oakville. So Donald Teague, they've basically thrown away this race. They've gone laps down. Meanwhile, Kevin Lacroix, Brandon Watson, they've been able to make stops, stay on the lead lap, stay in contention. But look at these cars, the top 5 cars, there is barely a mark on any of them.
But wait a minute, you said that about Lessard 5 laps ago. Look where he is now.
No, but that's how you get to the top 5, right? And Lessard did get to the top 5, and then he got not in the top 5. Where did we lose Lessard to? Did he?
Right here, turn 2.
There you go.
So still working on some track cleanup for those watching at home in turns 3 and 4. We've got the sweeper out there working on some speedy dry. And there you see a good line of it off the bottom of turn number 4.
And this will be our first attempt at a green-white checker. And I promise you, these drivers at the front are hoping it's the only attempt at a green-white checker. Tip of the hat to Kyle Steckley and that APC number 22. He's kept his nose clean, driven a very good race.
How about Dexter Stacy?
Yeah, all season long. He's also, he's done it while also being exciting behind the wheel. Like, he makes bold moves in that 92 machine.
Definitely a candidate for most improved, if that was an award we had here. He's run some great races this year. 3rd at CTMP. It's a career best for him in a place like that. Obviously not growing up as a road race driver.
No, not at all. Kevin Lacroix is back down pit road. Is he ahead of the pace car or behind the pace car?
I don't know, but he's very slow down pit road. Almost like the car isn't running.
Yeah, the crew coming down to collect that 74 machine, and they'll push it into the pit. At this point, we can only imagine what's going on.
I mean, we could guess, assume. I mean, with a shot like that in the back, maybe pickup tube out of the fuel tank. I mean, we're just totally guessing.
Something is amiss on the right rear corner of that race car.
Well, they got a body rub for sure.
That body, but it's cost them a lap.
Crew going to work over there.
I mean, with a body rub like that, you would almost run the race out. I mean, you're gonna cut into that tread, but for 2 laps, it might survive and it might be worth the risk to try it. But Don Thompson Jr., he's as smart as they come, the crew chief on that 74. I mean, he leaves no stone unturned.
Obviously some serious problems under the 74, or maybe NASCAR has sent them in to get it fixed, but I didn't see anything dragging to the point it would be a mandatory send into the pits.
No, you wouldn't think so. I was hoping we could see Don Thompson Jr. because while the crew goes to work, if he did have an issue, he would be taking it up with the NASCAR official. No,
We've seen it.
1 to go. Green, white checker finish. Andrew Ranger on the pole. DJ Kennington up on the outside. Marc-Antoine Cameron into the 96. Those two are teammates, but only when it comes to the appearance of the race car and the owner and the sponsor of the race car. They don't work together. They don't keep the cars in the same shop. They are 2 separately run racing operations. So let's see how friendly this overtime finish is going to be.
Getting ready to go, Andrew Ranger on the inside. DJ Kennington up on the top. Adam, bring us back. Green, white checker, NASCAR overtime. Here we go.
Off of turn number 4, Andrew Ranger sets the pace, gets on the loud pedal. DJ Kennington with a good launch on the outside, door to door through 1 and 2. Look at Kennington roll the high side.
Steckley and Cameron right with the 2 leaders as they roll into this one. Cameron down on the bottom. Steckley holding it tight. White flag is out. Kennington noses out around Ranger.
Kennington noses ahead on the front straightaway, down to 1 and 2. He takes that big arc. Look at the run Kennington has on the backstretch. He can't close the door on Andrew Ranger, though. Ranger too aggressive. To the finish line off of turn number 4, side by side. Kennington for the win. Ranger second. Cameron third. What a finish.
How about the recovery by Trayton Lapsevich to come home in 5th? What a run will send Adam Ross down to victory lane. Well, folks, what'd you think of that finish? It was a wild one, and we got another 125 still to come here, presented by Leland Industries. Kennington pulling down into victory lane. Adam Ross will meet him there in just a moment's time. Kennington wants the checkered. He wants that victory lap. And look at that car, picture perfect, not a mark on it. And the Castrol Edge Dodge of DJ Kennington will win 125, number 1, presented by Leland Industries here at Sutherland Automotive Speedway. Kennington happy and slow. He's going to turn it around and salute you fans when he comes by. Give him a big wave and let him know you appreciate that last lap pass to steal the win away. DJ Kennington picks up a very important win here in the battle for the championship. He's had some great runs so far this year, picks up the win here in this one. If you're not aware, DJ went on quite a fitness regime this winter, lost a lot of weight, got in fighting shape, and he's shown it here tonight. Looking better than he ever has in a long time in competitive. Car looking good, and he is looking ultra fast. Rick Verburn and the Castrol Edge team going to roll in there and congratulate their driver. And Adam Ross is down trackside along with the TSN crew. And we're bringing you some of the words from victory lane here in just a moment's time. We'll throw it down in just a second. DJ Kennington will get the gear off. He will get a cold drink of water, get ready to be brought out here. Good look there of those exact things going on. DJ will take the belts off, get the earphones out. He's already got the winner's hat on. And now we'll throw it down to Todd Lewis standing by in victory lane.
Victory, his first of the season. Congratulations coming from crew chief Rick Verburn and the rest of this team. DJ, I know you've been a little frustrated this year, but this is the kind of performance that you've been expecting out of this 17 team. Tell me about those last 2 laps.
I'll tell you what, I got to apologize to Donald Teege. I got really loose into one there and crashed up into him a little bit on that second last restart. But, man, what a class act. The 8 car, Raphael Lassard, had a hell of a race with him, and also had a great race with Andrew. Andrew and I have been teammates there for a lot of years, and he raced me really clean. And, man, we just had a really good drive up on the top side, and it's good to see this Castrol Edge Dodge back in victory lane, man. Fuel Donkey, Will Ride Transport, Brian Cathcart, CIM Metals, Spark Power, everybody that helps us get here. That's half the job done. We got to go get ready and get the other one.
DJ Kennington, winner of the first 125 here in Saskatoon. That is his 3rd career victory here at Saskatoon.
Thanks, Todd. Trackside. We'll see if Adam Ross grabs anybody else down there as we get in between races. The home track division's getting ready to roll out for their feature here tonight. DJ Kennington gonna have a quick victory lane and roll it back to the pits to get ready for race number 2 of the Leland Industries twin 125s here tonight. One second, Adam. Go for it.
This will be about the briefest victory lane you're going to see, because DJ will want to go back and get that car ready for race number 2 here this evening. We're waiting for 2nd and 3rd. I see Marc-Antoine Cameron, so we'll get the driver of the GM Paillet number 96. Marc-Antoine, you've had a phenomenal season, and with all the respect in the world, you had no business being up there in 3rd spot. Boy, oh boy, things happen. You had a fast car. You just couldn't get track position until the very end, and you made the most of it.
Yeah, exactly. We got stuck on the outside a couple of times on the restart, but like you said, car was not that great today, but I think with that third position, we're just, it's good for the point championship. Sorry for Kevin Lacroix. I mean, I don't know what happened in front of him. I hit him, on the last restart. But, yeah, definitely happy for the GM Payet's car. It's like a good third position for us.
There you have it, Marc-Antoine Cameron. We'll let him go back and get ready for race number 2. And then, boy, oh boy, he's smiling, but that one got away, Andrew. I don't know that there's much you can do there, but Andrew Ranger, second place finish, hell of a drive. You just didn't lead the right lap tonight.
Exactly, it's great for DG, did a great job, proud of him, and like he said, he tried to play clean with him. He's a good driver, and the Chevrolet Payet car was definitely fast tonight, and I was trying to stay tight there in the corner number 3 and 4, but it pushed a little bit too much. So whatever, it's a good second position for us. It's good for the point, and very happy for us tonight.
I have to ask you this, Andrew. You knew you've got another 125 laps to run. The same thing happens in this 125, and you've got a month to fix the race car. Will you be as polite this time?
I'm sure you know my answer.
So, folks, keep an eye on the number 27 GM Payet machine. Andrew Ranger, though, with a solid second place run. That'll do it from trackside here. Lots more excitement to come.
Thanks a lot, Adam Ross, down trackside. Once again, I'm Clinton Jeffrey up here in the booth. For those watching at home on the stream and around the world, we'll be back in about 30 minutes' time with twin race number 2 for the 125s, presented by Leland Industries here in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, as we are at Sutherland Automotive Speedway. Thank you for watching race number 1. We'll be back in about 30 minutes with live coverage from race number 2. All right, thanks everybody. Welcome back live here from Sutherland Automotive Speedway in Saskatoon. We're live back here on TSN Go and Flow Racing Worldwide, welcoming everybody here to this beautiful patch of Canada. What a great race. We've had race 1 in the books already, picked up by DJ Kennington about 40 minutes ago, and we're getting ready to go back into race number 2. My name's Clinton Jeffrey. I'm joined here by Adam Ross, the longtime voice of the NASCAR Pinty series. Thanks for letting me into your coop.
Hey, man, always happy to have you, especially on nights like this with fantastic crowd, fantastic racing. Looks like the field is going to be 22 cars strong for this next race out there. Yeah, NASCAR brought us a few things here, Adam. TJ Renamato will not start race number 2 here today. They have officially withdrawn the number 2, and that's no mystery. We knew that was going on. But did you hear the other news? The 50-50 is at $8,000. I was going to mention that to you. What is the secret? I don't know, because we've sat crowds like this at a lot of tracks and not got over $1,200 bucks. So either everybody here in Saskatchewan loves the 50-50,
or they're all feeling lucky tonight. I bought one. I never buy tickets, Adam. I had to get in. When it gets over 5 Gs, I got to get my ticket.
Green. Green is the color of money. Green is the color of Saskatchewan.
Well, I got a white ticket, so I'm beat then.
Yeah, you're done. You're done.
What a great race that was. Some awards.
Do they know what a big Ticats fan you are here? Like, if you told everybody how, like, huge
Look at
into
you
the
trying to
Tiger
get me
Cats.
killed here.
Didn't you grow up just a block from
I
the...
did. I
Yeah.
grew up from I Never Win Stadium, a block away, which is now Tim Hortons Field. And, you know, Hamilton is like the Tim Hortons capital of the world, right?
You cannot leave the center of Hamilton and drive legally on the streets and exit the city of Hamilton without passing a Tim Hortons.
But like 6 Tim Hortons. Every route out of the city's got it, but we've flourished right across the country now. But yeah, I did grow up by the Tiger Cat Stadium.
Do we want to go back to that little Oski Wee Wee?
No.
Love that out here.
You can get lynched. I'll run. How about that? Some awards from race number 1, though, Adam, we want to mention. You're not going to be able to do your proper introductions down there, so the rookie of the race number 1 would be Kyle Steckley. Great run for him there. 4th in his first ever Pinty race. That was a good showing.
Yeah, the Leland Lap Leader Award goes to Andrew Ranger. There is no official award for the heartbreak of the race, but Andrew Ranger also.
Yeah.
So I talked to Andrew between races, and he says
He was still smiling, though.
he was. He's very happy, but he says, I love the outside groove. I'm not sure why I didn't restart on the outside, because he has a huge amount of trust in DJ Kennington. There are drivers you would not give that opportunity to.
Sure.
But DJ is someone you can be confident he's going to race you clean. And Andrew says, in the split-second decision, I thought inside was where I should be.
But it's just like anything. When you're leading and you haven't seen anybody get by you, why are you ever going to step off that bottom and give it up? And we've seen many drivers not put the finishing touches on a race by doing that. Nobody's seen you. And we've said it often, the second place is the best spot to be in the closing laps if you've got a car potential to win.
No, I think you're absolutely right. But DJ executed that overtime to perfection. And I think all the drivers should be commended how well they did. An overtime finish has a huge potential for carnage. And we didn't see that. It was a really good finish. Before we get too deep into things, we need to wish a happy birthday to Mike Charret, the flagman, who came up and talked to me about the move-over flag. So if you watch the first 125, he disagreed with my take. One thing he does that I like, he will take the yellow flag and kind of signal to drivers that the leaders are coming. Then he will hold out the blue flag, but then once the leaders are there, he waves the blue flag. I'm still not sure I'm 100% in agreement that you give the move-over flag to lead lap cars, but he is. He is sure of that.
We need to talk. It's not the move-over flag, right? Because I said that. It's hold your line flag, and basically the indication that the leaders are around you.
In reality, you should give that flag to everybody because you should always hold your line.
So, being Mike's birthday, does that mean you're going to give him the second race off and go flag for him, since you know the rules?
My arms get tired of watching him.
I get tired eating chicken fingers.
And my one arm's still sore from Tiger Williams patting me on the back.
Yeah.
Oh, what a night. So the sun is setting. There's still sunshine, bright sunshine on the backstretch into turn number 3. But turn 4 down into really turn 2 is into the shade. So we'll be into a lighting situation by the end of this second 125 lapper, and some neat stories to follow up. But how about this? We've been handed the starting lineup, and it's based on drivers' fastest laps. So Donald Teague, his fastest lap, 14.981 seconds. Let's go down to 10th, which is 15.150. So a tenth of a second, basically. 10th and a half between first and 10th.
Yeah, in the first race, the only 2 drivers that got under 15 seconds were the pole sitters for the second race, and that'll be Donald Teague and DJ Kennington.
And then, so you look at this, Donald Teague, that's a damaged race car. DJ Kennington, the car looks perfect. Trayton Lapsevich, damaged. Kevin Lacroix has gone to a backup car. He has very little confidence in that race car. I asked him, I said, is this set up? Like, does this car have the same setup? He said, no. No, he did not look thrilled, but he's going to do what he can.
So, Adam, let's talk about that rule. Being a second race, Does that mean he has to start tail? Can he just bring out a backup? What do we know about that situation?
It's interesting that you say that, and the answer I'm going to give is I'm not sure. This is treated as a completely separate event from race number 1, but race number 1 must at least be considered qualifying, and you have to run the same car in the race that you qualify with. So even though he's listed as 4th place, and we're going to see right now, Trayton Lapsevich is coming out, and Kevin Lacroix is supposed to be on the outside of row number 2. So if Andrew Ranger pulls up to the outside row,
we'll know.
We'll know. But what a show that was in race number 1. And I'm so happy for Glenn Stiers in the 0, Jamie Krizik, Chantel Kalika, Matthew Shirley, Brian Cathcart, a bunch of cars that aren't really top 10 cars, but they kept it in one piece. They kept their noses clean so they can go out here and contend in this race for a solid finish.
On our monitor up here in the booth, we're getting a look at the Kevin Lacroix team working on that ESR Lacroix Tuning 74 machine as they work on a backup to get him ready to send him out here as soon as possible. And they're not going to have much time to prep that car.
No, but these crews are very, very good at what they do. So any car that hits the racetrack is going to be prepared. Like Trayton Lapsevich, Donald Teach, the noses were completely off of those race cars.
So it looks like they have left a gap there for Lacroix, Adam.
It would appear. So we'll see. We'll see what shakes down in that situation. Now, for some of our friends watching back east, there's been a lot of talk about the tire situation in motorsports. Just talking to some teams saying they are being forced to run 4.5 inches of stagger across the front of these cars because that's what's available.
That's a lot.
So they're having to make some serious adjustments out there. So it happens at all levels, and look at that. They're buttoning down the hood on that 74 machine.
They're going to back him up and send him back to the front stretch by the looks of it.
You know, these teams should be commended. They've worked hard down there. Rafael Lassard, driver of that number 8 machine, he's pretty thrilled with the way that car ran. You know, he didn't have the results he thinks that he really earned out there, but he knows he's got some speed, so he's excited for this next race.
Field getting assembled here for race number 2 of Twin 125s presented by Leland Industries.
We haven't seen updated points, so we can't really say, except to say that there would have been a mix-up once again. Whether Cameron is back on top or not, we can't be sure, because he did finish 3rd, but I'm not even sure whether 74 finished in that first race. I made it a point. I tried to get down pit road and talk to every team just to see how things were going, see how they felt. And everyone had their chins up with the exception. TJ Renamata was pretty disappointed. So that was a hard hit back there, and we knew that from what we saw. And that car is pretty torn up.
See some of the repairs. Cars making their way back out here. There's Alex Tagliani in the number 18 car just pulling in the grid. Lots of foil tape on the side of that one as they work on bolting the nose up on that car.
And another interesting point, our top 3 from race number 1, DJ Kennington, Andrew Ranger, Marc-Antoine Cameron. Look what they're starting race number 2, 2nd, 5th, and 9th. So it's not about how much speed you have, it's how you execute your race. Where Lady Luck decides she's going to leave you, and a little bit of racecraft in there.
So we've got about half the cars lined up and almost in grid position. We should be ready to go in just a few minutes' time. There won't be a lot of pomp before this one. We'll just jump right into it. And once we get them all set up, Adam will give us the starting lineup. Still working on that Lacroix Tuning 74. Donnie Thompson rolling out of the backside quarter and giving a heads up saying, yeah, it's good.
It'll be fun to watch Kevin Lacroix out there and see what he can do with that race car.
Crew giving him the thumbs up, and here comes Lacroix back out in a new car.
So the only driver to have gone to a backup car is the 74 of Kevin Lacroix. The 80 of Donald Teague, the 20 of Trayton Lapsevich, the 18 of Alex Tagliani, the 9 of Brandon Watson. They all made significant repairs to their race cars to get them race ready here for round 2. And I've lost track of the 9 of Brandon Watson. They're back there thrashing on that machine. I almost wonder if they're scavenging parts off the 2 car.
They are. We see them rolling back there, Adam. The crew running back and forth. DJ Kennington's crew over there under the hood as well, helping out. And that's Brandon Watson out of the car still, Adam, walking around.
Yeah, he's you know, I'm sure he wants to be of assistance to that crew and see what's going on. Sometimes you're better off not knowing.
Just get in the car and get ready to go, because before long you're going to have to get rolling.
So the work continues down there.
And yeah, they're pulling parts off the Renault number 2 in the backside of the pit area, Adam, and running back and forth between the 9 car.
Yard sale.
Brandon Watson, rookie in the series here. Obviously, every race is important for him to start to keep his shot at the Jostens Rookie of the Year title.
Glenn Steyer's the driver of that Zero machine, has not qualified this season in the top 16. No matter where we've been, he has not been 16th quickest after qualifying, but that's where he's going to start this race. So I really got to say good job to Glenn Steyers behind the wheel of the Zero machine. He ran all the laps that race. They were pretty pumped up down in the pits after. It has been a monumental learning curve, because here's someone who runs a number of very successful businesses, lives an exciting lifestyle, a lot of travel in his life. There's not a ton of time left over for testing and learning, and so he gets out here pretty much cold turkey whenever he comes to race, and he's picked it up pretty well.
Well, look at the style of racing Glenn has always done. He has an on-off switch for a right foot. It is not much feathering going on. It's either all out or not much. So for him to learn to feather these cars has certainly been a big learning experience. We know that for Glenn. And he was telling us last week, he figured out what his mistakes were. He's trying to be on the gas more than he should be rolling, and just got to figure out that balance. And finishing laps was a good deal for sure.
Got to let these race cars do the work, the suspension, the tires, and not drive them too hard. Jeff Lapsevich sort of running between the wall, and that could be fresh batteries or a fresh radio he's taken out to Trayton.
We are told we're only moments away from the command of fire engines for race number 2 in the Leland Industries twin 125's. Still work going on the Brandon Watson number 9. I don't see him outside the car, Adam. That may be meaning that he's gotten in the car.
Everyone else in the pit area is outside that car.
No doubt. Yeah, you can see Brandon in the car getting set up. Great shot of the spotters there in the background.
Yeah, so the spotter stand is scaffolding directly above the officials' tower. Just a fantastic vantage point of this facility, but there's really not a bad seat in the house.
No, fantastic atmosphere here, almost like a bit of a natural amphitheater. All the grandstands up on the hill. If you ever get a chance to make your way out here to Sutherland Automotive Speedway, make sure you do. You can even fly in and be here in about 5 minutes, Adam, right near the airport.
The Brian Cathcart number 71 is getting a long push down pit road to try to fire that thing up. It is not firing, though. So we'll keep one eye on that 71 down in turn 1. We'll have to keep the other eye between 3 and 4 on Brandon Watson.
Well, we see one of our cameras moving down there. Maybe we'll get a peek of that and see what's up with the 9. Or possibly what they're working on down there. It's a huge crowd of Castrol Edge, DJ Kennington teammates around there.
I think they might have just put a new radiator in it, because they're standing around with
yeah, lots
ample
of water.
supply of water. And there are members of the Glenn Steyers racing crew, the DJ Kennington crew, the Andrew Ranger crew, all customers of White Motorsports. And that's what they're doing. They're buttoning down the cooling system on that 9 machine.
What a great shot that is.
Yeah, they must work out.
Shooting for the write-up again, eh, big guy?
I'm complimenting the physical form of DJ Kennington's hard-working crew.
And you show a good bit of sportsmanship there. David White says, put the hood down, let's do this. car owner.
John Fletcher from Gary Klut's crew. I mean, there's a quarter of the field of cars represented working down on that race car. And that's the beautiful thing about racing. Folks, there might be fisticuffs after certain races and hard feelings, but by and large, we are the traveling circus of motorsports in Canada. We pick up our tent, we go from town to town, and you're a family. Just like a real family, we get on each other's nerves, but by and large, we know that we're always family.
Well, race fans, they just fired up the cars. How about you make some noise for all these hard-working crews and teams that put it together to come back and do it for you? We have fired up, and we're ready to go once more, Adam.
Instructions being given by Mike Charret up in the flag stand on how the green flag will be displayed. And we're going to set things up for another 125 laps of excitement in the Leland Twin 125's. NASCAR official Gloria Ang walking down the grid.
We got one spot there. They're going to put the Brandon Watson car in right beside Gloria there. And should be able to go. They did a great job fixing the body on that car. I mean, as you mentioned earlier, just cosmetic. Looks like it's came to race that way.
You know, and I kind of asked the same question to a few of those teams, whether it was the 9 or the 20 or the 18. Did you take any speed out of the car, or did you just knock the pretty out of it with the damage that was done? And they all said the same thing. Nah, we just knocked the pretty out of it. They're a durable car. Let's give you the starting grid for this one. Here's how they're lined up. We don't have TJ Renamato, so starting 22nd from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, the provincial vodka. The property management Dodge, the 28 is Matthew Shirley. 43 from Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, the AGI Dodge is Chantel Kalika. 46, Crown Pell Ventures, Burmar Rewind Chevrolet from Grand Prairie, Alberta, it's Jamie Krizik. From Peterborough, Ontario, the OK Tire Peterborough Fuel Donkey Dodge number 71 is Brian Cathcart. From St. Donat de Montcalm, Quebec, the Prolon Russo Metals Ford number 1, J.P. Bergeron. First time at this speedway, first time in a brand new race car, and this rookie went out there and finished in the top 10, had 2 marks on the car.
Looks awesome.
Impressive drive. The 66 is from Kanawaki, Quebec. The K-Fiber Optic Bullies Truck Stop Chevrolet is Wallace Stacy. The 0 is from Ohsweken, Ontario. The Glenn Stiers Racing Ohsweken Speedway Chevrolet is Glenn Stiers. From Kanawaki, Quebec, the Bullies Truck Stop K-Fiber Optic Chevrolet number 92 is Dexter Stacy. From Calgary, Alberta, the TCB Trailers Fast Eddie Speedway Chevrolet number 8 is Brett Taylor. From Trois-Rivières, Quebec, the WeatherTech Belmar Dodge number 47 is LP Dumoulin. From Barrie, Ontario, the Leland Industries IHL Group Chevrolet number 64 is Mark Dilley. From Stayner, Ontario, the GMS Sheer Metal Products APC Chevrolet number 9 is Brandon Watson. From Lachine, Quebec, the Viagra St. Hubert Quick NTN Chevrolet number 18 is Alex Tagliani. From St. Leonard d'Aston, Quebec, the GM Paillet Chevrolet Canada number 96 is Marc-Antoine Cameron. From Milverton, Ontario, the APC Auto Parts Winging Restaurant Chevrolet number 22 is Kyle Steckley. From St. Joseph de Beauce, Quebec, the Transit Easy Clean Fast Eddie Speedway Chevrolet number 8 is Raphael Lassard. And the New Tech Wood Dodge number 59 is from Halton Hills, Ontario, it's Gary Klute. From Roxton Pond, Quebec, the GM Paillet Chevrolet Canada number 27 is Andrew Ranger. From St. Eustache, Quebec, the ESR Lacroix Tuning Paragon Auto Service Dodge number 74 is Kevin Lacroix. From Grimsby, Ontario, the FBM RGC Sports Quick Chevrolet number 20 is Trayton Lapsevich. From St. Thomas, Ontario, the Castrol Edge Will Ride Fuel Donkey Dodge number 17 is DJ Kennington. And starting on the pole, the Group Teej Incorporated XBN Chevrolet number 80 from Bois-Chatel, Quebec is Donald Teej.
So, Adam, they gave them their spots on the grid, but Lacroix and Watson to the back for the start here. And we get set to go just like that, timed out perfect. It is time to go racing once more. It's the Leland 125 race number 2. Adam, bring us to it.
Donald Teej on the inside, DJ Kennington on the high side as they head down into turn number 1 for the first time. Kennington looking like he did in that first race up on the high side, comfortable as can be. He'll take the lead into turn 3.
Teej will roll in line in position number 2 on the bottom. And look at Kennington way up on the top in lap number 1.
He is a couple of grooves up the racetrack there in turns 1 and 2, but continuing to lead the way down into 3. Trayton Lapsevich in that 20 machine settles into 3rd right behind Tej, with teammates Andrew Ranger in the 27 and the 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron rounding out the top 5.
Tight battles all in the top 10 as these guys find the pecking order here in the early going of race number 2. Tej right on the inside quarter, trying to get the nose in there. He's up alongside the Castro Dodge into turn number 1 and will nose out and take the lead away.
Oh, Kennington, I don't know if there was contact there with the 20, but something amiss on the 17 to DJ Kennington.
He'll be stuck up on that outside and get freight trained all the way back to 5th. And can he get a line? Tagliani trying to stop that gap up, and he will.
Tagliani fills the hole as Kennington just not getting off. At turn number 2 especially, that car is just not leaping off the corner like we saw it earlier on. He's under attack now from LP Dumoulin. He's going to lose that spot. Gary Klook coming through as well.
Just waiting for the spotter to say clear, and he's not getting the call, and he's going to fade back to around the 10th position here. Donald Tej is the leader. Look at Raphael Lessard going 3 wide and gets into the door.
Raphael Lessard has places to go as Kennington continues to slide backwards.
He's free falling.
And he is coming to pit road in that 17 machine.
Oh,
so
no.
Highest of highs, the lowest of lows as DJ Kennington might have a flat left rear tire. Black flag being displayed to somebody.
Either Lessard or Bergeron by the looks of it. Kennington, this is going to cost him a
That's a
boatload of
drive-through
laps.
penalty. He must have got a drive-through penalty for jumping the start of that race.
Oh, boy.
And he stays on the lead lap. So DJ Kennington just ahead of the leaders. I'm not sure who has been posted with the black flag, but we haven't seen anybody come to pit road yet.
Birthday boy Mike Charret with the black in hand once again and eyeing up someone down the back straightaway. It looked like it was the 8 to me, Adam, but not sure.
I agree. That is what it appeared to be, was the 8 of Raphael Lessard.
Well, maybe
or
the
1 of JP Bergeron.
I think they're pointing at the 1 that time.
Now they will communicate that black flag to the spotters area, so there's multiple ways for them to communicate it. Official Ken up with the spotters will be passing along the message. There will also be a NASCAR official in each pit box.
And there Lessard, slow down, Adam, on the outside.
Lessard looking for room to get down.
So could it be a pass-through penalty for him as well, maybe?
Possibly, if he pulled out of line before the green flag. And that is indeed Raphael Lessard getting the black flag, as Wallace Stacy all out of shape in turn number 2.
There's the 8 car, slow down the back straightaway. He will probably, by the looks of it, make a pass-through penalty as well.
He might also stay on the lead lap here if it is just a pass-through penalty. Donald Tej, the race leader at the start-finish line, a shorter distance. No, Lessard is going to go a lap down.
1 it will be for the 8 of Lessard and a pass-through penalty out of. It's clear what DJ's penalty before. Any thoughts on what the 8th penalty might have been?
I can only imagine it was for pulling out a line before the green flag. But that's just speculation. We don't have any communication with the officials.
Donald Tej continues to lead, but DJ Kennington stretching out the margin out front of the leader. He was by far the fastest car at the end of race number 1, trying to show he's the fastest at the start of number 2. And he just needs that yellow to tag the back end. 1:08 to go here, with a lot of racing still to come. Up front, Donald Tej leading Andrew Ranger. In the battle for 3rd is Marc-Antoine Cameron in the Lapsevich 20, with Lapsevich's teammate Tagliani right on the backside.
Man, Marc-Antoine Cameron scheduled to start this race in the 9th spot, so he's moving in the right direction here in the early going.
That's the battle we watch right now. Marc-Antoine Cameron with Lapsevich up on the outside. Tagliani will fill the bottom gap and take that position away, or at least attempt to, from his teammate Lapsevich.
great racing throughout the field. Deeper in the field, we're watching Kyle Steckley do battle with JP Bergeron. Just ahead of them, Dexter Stacey trying to make a move on Gary Clute in the 59. Kevin Lacroix, remember, this is a backup car. He had 0 laps in this car today. He's out there trying to make passes as well.
Dexter Stacey trying to knock on the back bumper. Clute, gets into him out of 2. Gets in again. He's got 2 jacked up down the back straightaway.
Flat right front tire.
And popped his right front, did Dexter Stacey.
And Stacey comes to a stop there between 3 and 4.
And the yellow comes out. Yeah, just knocking too hard on that. Clute 59, inside quarter, will take the tire out.
What did we tell you in race number 1? Dexter Stacey makes some bold moves out there in the 92. And he is going to advance. If he comes down pit road right now, he's only got to restart at the tail end of the longest line, but they've got no time to change the right front. The pace car's right behind him. Have a look at this, down into 1 and 2.
It took a long time to fold. They got kind of loose there.
Yeah, he kind of got Clute a little bit loose there in turn 2, and as he advanced along him, made contact with the right front, and things went downhill from there. But as you can see, Dexter Stacey immediately has gone a lap down.
Crew going to work on that right front of the Bullies truck stop number 92 Yale machine.
Jason Hathaway was running around like a madman between those 2 races. Lots of work. They prepare the 3, the 8, the 66, the 92. A big undertaking. All of these teams have kind of become super teams. So there's the 4 cars prepared by Ed Hackinson Racing. White Motorsports has 5 or 6 cars out here. Mike McCall is here representing a number of his customers.
Donald Teague trying to put him up and down as fast as he can here. Was fast in the last one.
And we should point out Robin McCluskey, the crew chief for the 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron, who will be right around the lead in points right now, is serving a penalty after a technical infraction from Edmonton Saturday night. The crew chief was suspended for a race, so not able to attend here tonight. And you know his thoughts are missed here and his ideas with that race car.
Wow, we gotta look at the Teach front end. All the grill work's gone off the nose of it. It is not pretty, but it's still leading.
I say it every race we do. I love this series because there is no aero. The trouble with aero-sensitive race cars is you make one mistake and rub somebody and your day is done.
Yeah.
These here, elbows up, you know? It's more like hockey. You serve your 2 minutes, come back on the ice, you can still score the game-winning goal.
That's a great
analogy. So you can make these mistakes, but you're still out there.
You might have felt shame.
You sit in the box and feel shame. I am old enough to get that. What a classic.
Well, some of these drivers have put the foil on. Look at Tagliani's car.
And some of these drivers would have no idea what you're talking about. And I'm talking about those drivers born in this millennium.
Well, in case you're wondering, we're talking about a movie. When was that? Late 70s, early 80s? Slapshot. Good hockey.
Fabulous movie.
But if you're here and you're Canadian, you know that. We don't have to tell you that.
That's right.
Pace car is in. We're ready to go again. 28 on the board. Just less than 100 to go. Adam, bring us back to it. We're ready to rock once more.
Andrew Ranger trying to time this restart. Donald Teague comes off the corner with the hammer down. So Ranger led at the stripe there, but it looked like an even start. But we saw DJ Kennington get burnt on something similar. Could Andrew Ranger suffer the same fate? We're going to find out as they work down through 3 and 4.
Cameron on the back bumper of the 80 of Teague, and Tagliani showing some signs of brilliance for the first time today. He works to the outside in the battle for second.
Marc-Antoine Cameron looked like he wanted to make it 3 wide, poke the nose to the inside.
Cameron right down on the grass. That tells you the car is turning well for him as they wheel it back around off the bottom side of 2. Still Andrew Ranger leading now with Tagliani in second. Here comes the champ to the outside.
LP Dumoulin up on the high side in that 47. Donald Teague got a little bit loose off the corner last lap with some help from Marc-Antoine Cameron. So LP Dumoulin going to take advantage. Now Cameron coming to the outside. We'll see how receptive Teague is to that.
Teague pours it back hard on the bottom, but Dumoulin grabs the spot up front. The top two streaking away. Ranger and Tagliani from Quebec running away with this one. But then you got two more of the French guys running good here in second and third.
Dexter Stacy, he's coming to the pits. I thought he might be serving a drive-through penalty, but we are under yellow.
Wallace Stacy turned around on the back straightaway. Car 66 facing the wrong way. And they've got more problems on the Suns car. Dexter Stacy here also on pit road in the Bullies Truck Stop 92. They got jack stands in hand, which tells us it's not going to be a quick stop for that car.
It doesn't take long when you drive on a cut down right front, and I should have picked up on that, why you came to pit road right away. You'll wear the bolt right off that holds the right side of the sway bar. That's what happened to the 3 car. His teammate in Edmonton, after cutting down a right front, wore down through that sway bar mount, or the bolt that holds the sway bar in.
So Wallace Stacy gets the 66 car turned in the right direction. Don't see anything wrong with that car right now as he paces at the back of the field. His son's car still getting attention from the Fast Eddie crew in the Bullies Truck Stop pit area there. They take the jack stands away and looks like they're going to send him back.
And Dexter Stacy has had a lot of speed. He's just struggled to get to the finish of these racetracks.
Now they got to lift up the left side. So
the rules are a little different, Clinton. Sorry to cut you off, but on the original start, the leader crosses the stripe first. If the outside pole crosses the line first, they have to give it back over the course of that lap. It used to be the same way even on restarts, but that has changed since. So on a restart, second place can beat the leader to the line. Thankfully, I've got my resident expert, Larry Jackson, messaging me these things. As the rules do change over the years, I sometimes don't keep up.
I just looked at your notes. I thought you were that smart. Larry's telling you everything you need to say.
And his brother Daryl and his other brother Daryl.
Yeah. Lights off on the pace car. We are ready to go back to it.
Hey, man, what's this guy doing watching on Flow? Great to hear from Mike Mallet. Because he says, hey, buddy, you're doing a good job. Meanwhile, the last time I messaged him wasn't quite as friendly while he was announcing. But we won't go there. Love our Mike Mallet, great dirt track announcer. This series has appeal on both sides of the border. It's just good racing. And on a Wednesday night, why not?
He's watching the wrong track, but we're glad you're here with us, Mallet. Here we go. Green flag is out. We're on it again. Andrew Ranger trying to hold off Alex Tagliani up on the outside. The defending champ, LP Dumoulin, working the bottom with Teague, who's run great today on the outside.
Ranger did a great job getting back towards the bottom behind Andrew Ranger to settle into that second spot. It's chaos behind them as they continue to race side by side. Teague trying to get a big run off the high side. That was close to making contact with LP Dumoulin. Teague was a little bit closer to that backstretch wall than I think he would want to be.
Ranger, Tagliani continue to lead 1-2 as they work their way onto the back straightaway. The battle is still raging for third. The battle still raging for fifth as Cameron trying to hold off on the outside. That 20 car of Drayton Lapsevich.
And there's not a lot of love lost between those two as Donald Teague slid up the racetrack, just about got in harm's way there as Cameron and Lapsevich were charging the corner.
I was pointing to Brandon Watson, who backslid that car like a sprint car into turn number one.
Here goes a battle for the lead. Alex Tagliani to the inside of Andrew Ranger down the back straightaway. They'll race door to door through 3 and 4.
Tagliani with the nose out in front. He'll just drive up on by the 27 and take that spot away. Andrew Ranger will file back on the bottom. And now he avoids getting into the back end of that 18 car, because that would have been problems at the front here with a lot of racing still to go.
And I mean, this is a lot of Quebec. 3, 4, 5. The top 6 drivers, all from Quebec out there. How about Mark Dilley running in the 8th spot in that 64? He said there was no forward bite in that race car. He was super tight in the middle of the turn and then super loose trying to get on the gas. So they chased that car a long time in the first race, but looks to be to his liking here in race number 2.
Definitely looks a bit more comfortable. That's the ride. Christopher Bell will be driving the dirt race at Oshawegan in less than 3 weeks' time. As Dilley says, I'll put the kid in. Let's see what we can do on the dirt. Up front, though, Alex Tagliani is still leading. Andrew Ranger, 2 of the best this series has ever seen out of Quebec.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, we've got some elite caliber drivers out there. How about Kevin Lacroix, speaking of elite, still working his way through the field, battling to the outside of Gary Clute. Right behind him, DJ Kennington after that early race penalty. Kennington got a little squirrely going down into turn number 1, but he was able to gather it in pretty quick.
You know, not much strategy in these races, Adam, other than trying to conserve your tires. You know, no pit stops, no real chances for adjustments. You've got what you've got unless you want to go in and go to the back.
The one thing you need to do is not spend too much time battling on the inside of the racetrack. Whoa, Mark Dilley got real squirrely going into 3.
He's still squirrely.
3 wide down the front straightaway. Raphael Lessard on the bottom, Gary Clute in the middle, DJ Kennington up on the high side. What a move by Raphael Lessard in that 8.
Pinches the 74 up high. Clute and Kennington in the battle. Those are 4 cars we're going to want to keep our eye on here as we get closer to the midpoint of this race.
And the laps are clicking away. We're less than 15 laps from halfway through this one. The Leland twin 125's providing all sorts of entertainment here tonight.
Lessard working under the Dilley 64. And that is the battle for 10th right now. Dilley way up to the wall that time on the back straightaway.
Well, Dilley was up to the wall. Lacroix kind of forced his way down in front of DJ Kennington. Kennington cut him some slack, but it's pretty early in this race.
Lacroix up on the inside quarter there of the Dilley machine. Best battle out there right now is those two going at it side by side.
Lacroix got a little squirrely up off the turn. He lost some momentum. DJ Kennington swings to the outside. He's going to have a run down the back straightaway. So Lacroix still on the inside of Mark Dilley. Here goes Kennington sealing it in on the high side.
Kennington right up to the outside door there. Lacroix came up in front. He had to back out of it a little bit. Kennington, we know he can roll the outside in that Castrol Dodge.
He sure can as he continues. Oh, Gary Clute with a problem in the 59. Takes it down to pit road. That could be that left rear tire's got some damage to it. I don't know if it's flat or what the deal is.
He looked like he was going to hit that inside backstretch wall, but did not. Comes into the pits and nobody really in a hurry to work on the car, Adam.
Nope, they're having ice cream.
They really are. And here comes Fletcher running down through the pits. I know Fletcher's on the box. They don't look like they're really wanting to hustle.
No, and I mean, if there's nothing can be done, there's nothing can be done. Not sure what the conversation is, but you can see John Fletcher cueing his radio to talk to his driver, Gary Clute. Back on the racetrack, DJ Kennington's got to the inside of Kevin Lacroix. Lacroix continuing to close the door on the veteran DJ Kennington. There comes a point when DJ will stop putting up with that.
They're running 11th and 12th on the speedway. And DJ once again having to back out of it. We look at Brandon Watson working on the Bergeron number 1. And that's the battle for 7th and 8th on the speedway.
Lacroix is really trying to defend that. He checked up a little bit in 2. This time he's not going to be able to close the door. Kennington is there. DJ rolls the bottom. Meanwhile, further up ahead, Brandon Watson. Oh, trouble. Marc-Antoine Cameron, our points leader in the 96, off the pace and down pit road. And smoke coming out of that race car. I believe it is out the exhaust, Clint. That is no bueno.
Oh, my. Tough break after. It hasn't been a good day for the 96 team.
No, that's for sure. So Cameron down into the pits. We'll keep an eye on that. On the racetrack, Brandon Watson still trying to complete the pass on JP Bergeron. DJ Kennington still trying to complete the pass on Kevin Lacroix. And out in front, Alex Tagliani leads by about 5 car lengths over Andrew Ranger.
We watched the battle as Brandon Watson holds 6th, Bergeron 7th, and they go at it. Bergeron trying to take that spot back from Watson with Donald Teej up in front of them.
Just amazing racing. What a fantastic facility. We just passed the halfway mark, so 65 laps will be complete this time at the stripe.
Tagliani still leading Andrew Ranger, LP Dumoulin, Trayton Lapswich, and Donald Teej. Those are the top 5. And there you get a look at the battle as Lapswich trying to hold and pull up and grab that 47's position, which would be number 3.
And just ahead of the leaders, about half a straightaway, Chantel Kalika is having fits, trying to get around Wallace Stacy. She got to the inside a couple laps ago. They both got completely sideways off it too, so Tagliani's going to have to keep his eye on that battle up ahead. We've already seen Wallace Stacy go around once in this race off of turn 2.
Great run for Tagliani. We haven't seen this much of him late. You know, he's had some solid runs, but not anywhere he's gone out and just dominated lately.
No, it's been a tough trip west for Tagliani. It's been a challenging season for the driver from Montreal, Quebec, but one win can change the tides of your whole season.
Well, big time. We've talked a lot over the years about how confidence, and if you can fill your confidence bucket, you can do great things. Things you probably didn't think you could do 2 weeks ago.
No, you're exactly right. Raphael Lessard in the 8 machine working on the 22 of Kyle Steckley. That's a battle for 7th on the racetrack as Lessard goes to the inside. They're closing in on the 71 of Brian Cathcart. So Lessard might have to regroup and find a better way. Nope, he's going to show the nose to the inside of Steckley anyhow. But he runs out of real estate down in turn 3.
Steckley doing a good job. He used the 71 as a pick to kind of stem the flow of the 8 a little bit. Now he'll drop back to the bottom. Tagliani up on the back bumper of that Kalika 43. We'll see how he navigates around this machine.
Strange noise out of the Trayton Lapsevich number 20 when he got off the throttle that time on the front stretch. LP Dumoulin going by. Let's have a listen this time. Yeah, he's having the same problems he had the other night. They thought they had got to the bottom of their alternator issues, but that car sounds terrible. It is not running properly.
Agreed. It is definitely messy out there.
Now it sounds like it cleared itself up that lap.
Remember, we saw that at Edmonton. He had a rough day, was struggling for a bit, then they got it worked on, and the car came back to life for him. Closing in on 50 to go for the leader this time. It'll be 5-0 as Tagliani will cross the stripe. And we just got not much more to go.
Nope, tag to the outside of Wallace Stacy. Glenn Stiers will be next in line for the race leader. Once again, Trayton Lapsevich car coughing and spitting down the front straightaway. Tagliani has extended his advantage in this lap traffic.
Works to the outside of the Stiers 0. Tries to clear him into turn number 1. Ranger not able to make up any ground on the leader. LP Dumoulin a long way back from the top 2. Teej a long way back from Lapsevich, who sits in the middle.
Jamie Krizik on the inside of Mark Dilley. As they work down through 3 and 4, they're about a straightaway ahead of the race leader, Alex Tagliani. The only car between them and Tag is the 28 of Matthew Shirley, who's quietly just had a good drive here this afternoon. That Provincial Vodka number 28. And these are the moments, Clint, we've seen all year where things get crowded. You'll have cars 1 lap down, with some cars multiple lap down, with lead lap cars racing around them, and that's usually where cautions are born.
We look at Donald Teej. He currently runs in position number 5. Brandon Watson behind him in position 6. Not too far behind them is the 8 of Lessard.
I still think we might be seeing the calm before the storm. 82 laps complete when Alex Tagliani crosses the stripe.
Oh, I don't disagree about that. We are going to see some wild stuff here before this one comes to a close. I wouldn't be surprised if we see overtime once again.
No, neither would I. It's tough to have anything surprise you. We have seen some wacky things in the history of this series. As Donald Teague to the outside of Chantel Kalika, she was looking like she wanted to make a move on Wallace Stacy, but she'll get down out of the way of the lead lap cars.
This battle's starting to heat up as Lapsevich has chased down LP Dumoulin in the 74 Dodge. The WeatherTech machine has been running good inside the top three for the majority of this second twin race presented by Leland here tonight in Saskatoon. But Trayton Lapsevich is on the charge, if the motor will allow him to.
Yeah, he's holding the pretty wheel right now in the 20 machine. Like you say, the power plant has to support his goals here tonight.
Well, we know the chassis is because he just got a great drive off of turn number 2 to come back at that 74 car, or 47 car, and he is right there.
Alex Tagliani puts Matthew Shirley a lap down in that 28 machine. So he is clicking off the lap, setting a torrid pace out there in that 18.
We look at the leader, Tagliani. Oh, Lapsevich had him jacked up a bit there. This battle is starting to really rage here. This is the race for third. Lapsevich all over the back bumper of LP Dumoulin.
And you really have to make the setup and complete the pass quickly, or you wind up running side by side for lap after lap. So Trayton Lapsevich trying to size up the 47 of LP Dumoulin. Lapsevich able to come off the corner right on the bottom in that 20 machine.
Dumoulin rolling the middle part of the corner very well.
In 1 and 2, Dumoulin is just as good as Lapsevich. Where Lapsevich is better is coming through turn 4. He's able to point the car down the front stretch and really get the power down.
No change in position as Dumoulin looks to the outside of the Cathcart 71.
Oh.
That's going to allow Lapsevich to get down on the inside. What'd you see?
Chantel Kalika drove it down into turn number 3, and I thought she was going to drive right through the 66 of Wallace Stacy, but I think she just got a faster approach to the corner. I think she might have made up ground a little quicker than she anticipated.
Still, we see the battle here between Lessard and Watson. Watson leading that drive. He's got position number 6. Lessard runs in 7th. Lessard just trying to knock on that back bumper cover, the APC Sheer Metal 9.
Behind them a little ways is a great race between Kevin Lacroix, JP Bergeron. Right behind them is DJ Kennington. Lacroix gets all the way up alongside JP Bergeron, but Berge with a good run up on the high side in that number 1.
Alex Tagliani will work his way back to the stripe off of turn number 4 this time with 30 laps to go. 3-0 remain in the Leland Twin 125's number 2 on the evening.
Tagliani's had things his way. Andrew Ranger still in that 2nd spot, but there's at least 10 car lengths between 1st and 2nd. Got to go back quite a ways to really find the first great battle on the track, and that's this one. Brandon Watson in the 6th spot in that number 9, trying to keep Rafael Lessard behind him in 7th, and closing in is the 22 of Kyle Steckley.
Well, if the yellow were to fly, it would certainly change the outcome of this race. You would have to think it would bunch everybody up, bring them tight once more. And then there's so many good cars that just got strung out here. Hard to really tell who's coming and going right now.
Right in front of that battle with Kevin Lacroix and JP Bergeron is Chantel Kalika trying to take swings at Wallace Stacy in the 66. So this is the action spot on the racetrack right now as they run side by side for position behind a long string of slower cars, and Kevin Lacroix trying to wedge it in.
Oh boy, almost got in the back of Kalika, nearly got in the left rear quarter of Berge as they work it off of 4. Now Lacroix gets hung out and Bergeron able to drive away.
They sail it in again to turn number 3. Wallace Stacy is not getting into turn 3 very well, and I think he's surprising these drivers.
Bergeron just knocked him up out of the way a little bit there. That brings Lacroix back on the rear bumper here of the Bergeron. Oh, Bergeron will dump Stacy into 3. And there's the yellow.
It was a tough spot for Bergeron to be in. Yeah, he dumped Stacy, but there was a lot happening at that same time as well.
Maybe dumped was the wrong word. Dump implies intention, I think.
Yeah, like there was definitely contact.
Got into him,
He
spun him
definitely
out.
caused the 66 to go around.
But it's like you said, I think you mentioned just a lap before that Stacy had kind of caught them off guard how easy he was going into the turns, and I think when they got to 3, they didn't realize how lightly he was going to get, or how much he was going to get off the throttle.
So watch what JP Bergeron is trying to do here, and that's position himself to get around both of these lap cars. And I think just a little bit of impatience from a driver who hasn't shown very much impatience the whole night. But when you've got the caliber of racer behind you, you've just completed a pass on Kevin Lacroix or held off Kevin Lacroix, you can't give him an opportunity to get back at you. So I think that's what we saw there, but young JP Bergeron really doing himself proud.
Got a good McCall chassis under him, and we found that out in one of the earlier races this year. We get another look at it on the replay. Gets into that left rear quarter of the Stacy 66 and turns him around. Look at Cathcart, so lucky that it didn't come down and take him out into the door as well.
It could have got pretty ugly. Let's give you a field rundown, folks. Alex Tagliani, your race leader in the 18. Andrew Ranger is second in the 27. 47 of LP Dumoulin is third. The 20 of Trayton Lapsevich is fourth. The 80 of Donald Teege is fifth. Brandon Watson in the 9 runs sixth. The 8 of Raphael Lessard runs seventh. Kyle Steckley in the 22 is eighth. Kevin Lacroix in the 74 is ninth. DJ Kennington in the 17 is 10th. 11th is JP Bergeron in the number 1. 12th is the number 3 of Brett Taylor. 13th is the 46 of Jamie Krizik. 14th is the 64 of Mark Dilley. 15th, one lap down, is the 28 of Matt Shirley, who I believe will get the free pass under this yellow to get back on the lead lap, and we'll have 15 cars on the lead lap. One lap down in 16th is Glenn Stiers in the 0. Chantel Kalika in the 43 is 17th, also one lap down. 2 laps down is Brian Cathcart in the 71. 3 laps down in 19th is the 66 of Wallace Stacy, and then many laps down out of this race, Marc-Antoine Cameron in the 96, the 59 of Gary Clute, the 52 of Dexter Stacy, and it did not start for the 2 of TJ Rinamato.
Thanks, Adam. While we're under yellow here, we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back here on the stream.
Welcome back to Sutherland Automotive Speedway, the Leland Twin 125's. This is race number 2. Of course, in race number 1, it was DJ Kennington beating out Andrew Ranger in a green-white checker overtime finish. Marc-Antoine Cameron rounding out the podium. And things are upside down in this race. Alex Tagliani in the 18 was nowhere in that first race. He had speed but no track position. Trayton Lapsevich in the 20 has been battling a car that's just been horribly, the engine is just not running right, and you can see it right there. You can hear him trying to clear it out under this yellow.
Still holding on to fourth, though.
He's still holding on to fourth, but it's got to be frustrating.
He's got to be thinking, if I could just get that 8th cylinder to fire.
No doubt. So Alex Tagliani going to refire from the pole position in the 18, the 27 of Andrew Ranger. He wasn't able to do much with Tagliani that last restart, but this is Ranger's trick. He hangs back just a touch, about half a car, so he has a good head of steam coming towards the green flag. He's as good as anybody there is, Clint, at these restarts.
Off of turn 4, they wind it up. Tagliani got a great jump, though, and off to 1 they go. Ranger drops right to the bottom. He's going to try and get down low under him.
Ranger with a nice move to cross him over and get to the inside. He'll shadow him down. Oh, trouble. Brett Taylor gets into the wall on the backstretch. A couple of drivers got all out of shape. I believe Jamie Krizik may have a tire down in that 46 machine.
Well, definitely a flat left rear and a flat right rear. Left rear on Taylor, right rear on Krizik. And we remain under green here.
And we'll see if one of them is going to bring out a yellow. Trayton Lapsevich car is
there it is,
coughing and sputtering as Jamie Krizik goes around on the backstretch. Brett Taylor has to take evasive action, and so Trayton Lapsevich is going to have to come into the pits, I would think, to have that 20 machine looked at. It is just not up to par.
So hard though, you know, you could try and hold on for these last 14 and maintain what you can, or you can come down, potentially go down laps and give it all up and maybe get it fixed. It's tough when you're in the points.
I think that restart just showed why that won't work. Like it is just not running well. As we look at the Brett Taylor number 3 crew, he is down a lap already. They're going to have to hustle to get this work done. Pulled in pretty close to the pit wall, so they don't have much room to jack that car up. They're able to get the left rear off, but the fresh left rear with air in it, okay, it will fit in there, so that's a good thing. And
they drop the jack, and the NASCAR official will hold Taylor there. What might that be about?
I don't know.
Either way, Taylor down and away.
It looks like the 3 crew having some questions, because entering a closed pit, I believe, would be a tail end of the line infraction, not being held on pit road.
He wasn't really held very long ago.
Long enough for the pace car to go by.
Lapsevich in the pits now, Adam. They're going to go to work on that car.
They're replacing the battery.
There you go.
That's what they're looking at, is the left rear. They had alternator issues. They thought they had the alternator issues fixed, but if the battery gets to a point where it's just failing, there's nothing you can do but get in there and put in a new one. I mean, they should be pretty good at changing them by now, though, but it will cost them at least a lap or 2 on pit road.
So would that have quick connect connectors, Adam? Do you know?
I would think so. The issue is accessing it. I believe you've got to
pull off a panel.
Yeah, there's a panel in there, and I don't know if it's riveted or if it would be Zeus fastened or how it's fastened in there. But
couldn't be riveted. They'd never be able to get it changed. But yeah, it's definitely going to have to be fastened at some point. You see some of the padding coming out. There's the old battery coming out.
So he's down 1 lap right now. If they can perform a miracle and complete this change before going down 2 laps, he's still got a chance. So here's where you use a little bit of veteran gamesmanship if they can get that work done. You've got to understand what the penalties are for what infractions. And the penalty for speeding on pit road is end of the longest line.
You're already there.
You put the hammer down. But there are things you have to know the rule book, as we've got 10 laps to go. We continue under yellow. Safety truck heading out onto the racetrack.
Maybe headed for overtime again. Still got a few more laps to get it in before we have to go that route. Want to thank everybody for watching at home, wherever you're tuning in to this awesome speedway and the fantastic series we've got here. We appreciate you joining us here on a Wednesday night.
I love midweek specials. Just love it.
I'm a big fan of them too.
I think because I'm such a huge racing fan that on Saturday night you're wherever you are, you're watching races. But on a Wednesday you can focus on what's going on elsewhere. And I mean, I'm just a big fan of watching short track racing all over.
1 lap to go. Lapsevich is going to lose another one out of him. He will speed down pit road. But
yeah,
still going to be multiple laps down.
Stop sign being held up for Trayton Lapsevich. He'll fall into the back of the line. Alex Tagliani, the race leader in the 18, he continues to lead this one. He has led the most laps, but Andrew Ranger in the 27 is up on the wheel. The 47 of LP Dumoulin. Last time Ranger crossed him over, found a gap, drove right to the inside. Let's see if he tries to hang on here on the outside, Clint.
8 laps to go. Who is it going to be into turn number 1? Tagliani gets the nose out. Ranger up on the outside where we know he can run well. Dumoulin on the bottom, and T just hanging out on the outside.
Ranger got a little bit loose between 1 and 2 there, and it lost his momentum. He couldn't really get a big run on Tagliani. LP Dumoulin to the inside of Tej. He'll pick up the 3rd spot.
Ranger now right on the back bumper of the leader, trying to get close enough to maybe make a move, or move him if he has to. Trying to get there to knock on the door, and he's there.
Andrew Ranger right up on the rear deck lid of the 18 of Tagliani. He'll shadow him down into turn 1 and 2. I mean, right up under the spoiler of that 18 machine.
Tagliani maintains the lead. Half car length advantage into 3. Off of 4. Same margin as Tagliani starting to go away with 5 to go.
5 laps remaining in this one. LP Dumoulin closing in on the leaders, and Andrew Ranger staying within that car length.
Oh!
Problem for Matt Shirley deep in the field in that 28 after.
Steckley just ran up the backstretch wall at him. He's outside. This may be a yellow for the 22 car. Oh, he nearly gets run over by Stiers as they come together. We maintain green.
Kyle Steckley just trying to keep that car under control. I think he's trying to drop to the back. He knows his chances of a good finish are gone.
Up front, though, coming for 2 to go. Alex Tagliani in the NTN Bearings Viagra. Quick machine, bringing it here with Rona also on the side. Can he get it done?
Rangers still within that car length as they work off a 1 and 2, but Tagliani pulling away down the back straightaway. It'll be white flag in the air off of turn number 4. 1 more lap to go.
Last time into 1. Tagliani, it's his race to give up here. Ranger, once again, looking like the bridesmaid for the 2nd time tonight.
They're battling all over this racetrack, but we watch the front of the field. Alex Tagliani in the Viagra. NTN quick. Oh, trouble further back. Tagliani to the win. Rangers 2nd, Dumoulin 3rd. Rafael Lessard making contact with Donald Tej. Tej goes sliding up the racetrack. What a finish. But Alex Tagliani, I'll tell you who needed that win more than Alex Tagliani. It was his pit crew that has put in so many hours in the last 4 days getting that car put back together. They will celebrate tonight this one. Matthew Shirley showing a little bit of displeasure to Glenn Stiers there as they come through on the cool-down lap, but we're headed towards victory lane.
Who would have thought after Saturday night when this car was totally destroyed, needed a whole new front end, that they could put it together here on the West Coast and come back and grab the win. Adam Ross will head down trackside. So we will assemble victory lane down there. Once again, want to thank all you awesome fans for coming out. Here's your field rundown inside the top 20. Alex Tagliani 1st, Andrew Ranger 2nd, LP Dumoulin 3rd, Lessard 4th with Brandon Watson 5th, DJ Kennington 6th, Kevin Lacroix 7th, 8th will be the Bergeron number 1, Dilly in 9th, Tej will finish in 10th, 11th through 15th, Kalika, Steckley, Stiers, Shirley, and Taylor, 16 through 20, Cathcart, Lapsevich, Stacy, Krizik, and Cameron. We get ready to send it down to Todd Lewis, who'll be standing by with Alex Tagliani as he pulls into victory lane here tonight in the 2nd of Twin 125s presented by Leland Industries at Sutherland Automotive Speedway here in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. It's been a great week out here on the West Coast. I know the teams all enjoyed it. What fantastic racing we've seen. We've met some awesome fans, and we appreciate all your hospitality and everybody here from the track taking such good care of us. But he's down there in victory lane getting ready to jump out of the number 18 car. They've done so much work, as Adam mentioned, to get this car prepared for competition today after the massive amount of damage they sustained Saturday in Edmonton. But they put it all together. Ran a flawless 2nd race here. Car beat up heavily in the 1st one. But either way, Tagliani gets it done. They'll pull the stage in behind. We'll get ready to have Todd Lewis talk it up with our winner here in race number 2. Alex Tagliani. He'll get all the gear off down there. We see him briefly through the window working his way out of the car. You can bet he'll be a little bit tired as well. 2 tough races to battle through here tonight. And we'll let him get a moment to get ready. Helmet off, being hung up on the hook there. You see the crew in to offer congratulations as soon as he gets out of the car. And when he gets out, we want you to welcome him the way you know best here. And we get ready to send it down to Todd Lewis, standing by to take it away.
What a week it has been for Alex Tagliani. Following a very difficult race in Edmonton, this number 18 team bounces back, and Alex scores his first victory of the season. And wow, does that, yes, absolutely keep the championship hopes alive. There is going to be big congratulations with Alex and this whole team for the job that they did, and he's calling them all in here. Alex, what a job your team did just to get this car ready and for you to be able to score a victory tonight.
Yeah, so you know, we won't tell you all the secrets of what's happening in a shop, but the team, the entire team, the 18, the 22, the 20, worked so hard on the car. They did a tremendous job. All the resources, a lot of creativity, a lot of help from the guys at McCall that made the trip. And, you know, I bought them dinner last night, but there's nothing like bringing the car to victory lane. So this is a big, big, big thanks to the 22 racing team.
Congratulations, Alex. Victory here in Saskatchewan.
Thanks, Todd. How about it, ladies and gentlemen? Make some noise for Alex Tagliani. He can hear you now. And Adam Ross is down there. We're not sure if he's able to grab second or third place, and we can have a quick chat with them as well.
And don't forget, folks, the pits will be open, so once things get completed here in Victory Lane, come on down and meet some of the drivers and see the teams. We're waiting for second and third place to make their way up here. And what we're going to do before that is give out some hardware. Byron Nelson from Leland Industries is there with a beautiful trophy. And once Alex is done talking to the crew, he'll come in here and pick up some hardware from an impressive victory in the second half of the Leland Twin 125's. How about it, race fans? One more time for Alex Tagliani, the winner of the Leland Twin 125, race number 2. Andrew, you did it again. You looked close. It looked like on that restart you had something for him and just didn't quite have the drive off.
Yeah, exactly. Drive off. We did a little change and was thinking that it wasn't off, but fortunately, but whatever, we finished on the podium. This is another second position for us, so it's good for the point, and we proved that the Chevrolet Paillet car 27 is fast every weekend, and I'm so happy about that. The team worked so hard, and you know what, it's next race, it's Three Rivers, so a big road course track for us.
And that is a big one for you, Andrew. How many years was it you finished no worse than second at GP3R? I think it was for like 12 years straight.
Yeah, exactly, 10 or 12 years. So it's a track that I really like, the next one, and we were pretty fast in Toronto. So again, I will try my best and try to win another win.
There you have it. Andrew Ranger, ladies and gentlemen, a pair of second-place finishes. And now defending series champion LP Dumoulin. It was a quiet night for you. You had speed, and it mattered when it counted. Your third-place finish is a solid run. It's got to feel good.
Yeah, it feels good. That WeatherTech 47 Benmark car was pretty decent finally during the second race. Thanks to my team. Everybody really worked hard. Think a bit outside the box on what we can do to get that car to turn, because we were fighting a big, tight understeer car all day long, so very happy with it. It was still tight, but way better, obviously. So, and then, the last restart there, I was talking with Andrew. I was tempted to be, a little more aggressive, but on the other end, I think it could have been, maybe a mess. So I decided to just be smart, get the points, and hope everybody enjoyed the show. So, we want to come back stronger for the next one.
There you have it, LP Dumoulin, a big smile after a third-place run, folks. Well, that'll do it from trackside. Race fans, thanks so much for coming out once again to make our Western Swing something special, a great night of racing, and we look forward to seeing you again in 2023.
Thanks a lot, Adam. For Adam Ross, my name's Clinton Jeffrey. We appreciate you joining us here from Saskatchewan. What a great day it's been. 2 awesome races. We'll see you again in a couple weeks from GP3R.